And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank you for joining me tonight. There's a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I'm not really sure where to begin. We got a whole lot happening. Your man Joe Biden says the pandemic is over with. So what are we going to do about all these pesky vaccine mandates still exist? Why do we have the mandates? If the pandemic is over, then the governor should not have their emergency powers, correct? We'll talk about that in a minute. Also, Don Lemon got schooled on reparation and what that really means. We'll talk about that in a minute as well. Also, Nikki Haley was unfairly attacked over her name because she does not go by her first name. She go by her middle name. And she was attacked this way on The View, and they have some nerve trying to attack her. Very hypocritical. We'll talk about that in a minute as well. Also, New York City's vax mandate has been lifted for the private sector, but not for municipal workers, which is silly. We'll talk about that in a minute. We'll talk about Letitia James and a whole lot more on this episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for being here. Definitely appreciate you guys. If you enjoy what you were hearing thus far, if you enjoyed the content, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Also, shout out to everyone who's always here, everyone who is new. If you just found the channel recently or you've been here for a while, thank you, thank you, thank you. I could not do it without you. We got a whole lot going on, but first, sponsors, of course, you guys know how I do. Shout out to myself, of course. ABLmerch.com. Y'all know where to go by now. We got hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ABLmerch.com. Also, go to my regular website, AnthonyBLogan.com. That is ANTHONY. That letter B, LOGAN.com. And if you go to the website, right on the front page, you're able to find articles that correspond with the videos I produce. I always write articles to back up what I say. I always cite my sources. You can find at the end of the article. You can see a list of sources. Click on those. It'll get you what you need. So you can fact check me on what I say in my own videos. Also, you can look at some of the videos that are on there that I may not be able to put on the YouTubes because sometimes it'll be a copyright issue or, oh, it's too much violence, all this, that, and the third. So you can go to the website and find what you need that may or may not be available right here on the YouTubes. Again, AnthonyBLogan.com. And also go to the contact page, AnthonyBLogan.com/contact. You can find my email address, my snail mail address, my social media pages aside from my YouTube. You can find my Facebook page, Twitter, and Instagram, all there on the website. Again, and all my links will be in the description box below. Shout out to Shield Labs right there. Thank you, sir. Shield Lab says, here's my 2 cents for you, ABL, after all the fees YouTube and PayPal takes out. God bless. Thank you for that. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, we got a whole lot happening. Yeah, we're almost at 1 million subscribers, 50,000 away. So if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, please go ahead and do so. I'm not sure when I hit the 1 million. Maybe it'll be this year. That's my hope, right? That I can get to 1 million subs this year. That'd be amazing. But I don't know. Maybe I have one video that takes off. If I keep going on my content the way I'm going, I got a pretty good strategy in my head that I'm trying to use. If I can keep going with that content strategy, I should get to 1 million pretty soon, but I don't really know. But when I do hit 1 million, I'm going to try to do something. You guys send me email, send me something on Twitter about what I should do for my 1 million subscriber mark. But I will do something for sure. And Rob says, when do we call? I take calls right around the 9:30 Eastern time mark. So about an hour and a half from right now. Usually right around 9:30 I take calls. So yeah, you guys let me know. Shield Lab says 1 million giveaway, a Patriot Shield, something custom. Hey, that'd be cool. That'd definitely be cool. So I'll let you guys know what we're gonna do for that. And you guys hit me up. I'll be taking suggestions for that. Once we get to that mark, you guys will definitely see something. And that'll be pretty soon, because you never know the way it is on YouTube. I could have one video that just goes, and all of a sudden I'm at a million subs. So who knows? But We got a whole lot going on tonight. I'm not really sure where I want to start with my topics. People are asking about the gray hair, all this, if you guys don't know, so my birthday was on, what was that, Thursday, the 22nd? I turned 38. And people are saying, hey, what's up, all the gray, 38 years old? I think it's hereditary because a lot of my family got the same thing, and somebody said it was diabetes or something like that. But even, real fit, I'm not like a fat guy or nothing like that. People that don't have diabetes at all, they still get the gray. I think it's a hereditary thing. Dad was like that, granddad was like that. And really on both sides of the family, you got people that are gray early. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's that coal ash from West Virginia got in my bloodstream. I don't know what it is, but it is what it is, man. So yeah, that's pretty much what I got going on. But let me go ahead and get rocking here. We got the pandemic situation. Oh, we got some good videos too. We got some really, I'm gonna say we have good videos to cover, but I'll say that we have some interesting videos to cover. Very, very interesting videos to cover. And I'll get to those in a minute. And if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. We'll get to those in a few. Oh, and remember that the hatchet man, the New York City hatchet man, he gave an interview. We'll get to all that a little bit later. We got a Biden video, the hatchet man video, all of that a little bit later. But first, where am I going to start? Oh, I want to start with Stacey Abrams talking about unborn babies' heartbeats being fake. As a matter of fact, I got a video for that I want to show straight away. So first, I think I'm going to show the video of Stacey Abrams talking about the heartbeats are fake and unborn babies. And to give a little bit of context before we get to it. So the context here is that, Georgia has the heartbeat law. It's not just a bill, it's a law. Signed into law, I think it might have been back in 2019 or 2020. So in Georgia, you cannot have an abortion past 6 weeks because at 6 weeks, they've been able to detect a heartbeat in the baby in the womb. Okay. So they say at 6 weeks, you can't have abortions. Stacey Abrams went on stage and was like, hey, the heartbeat you're talking about is fake. It's made up sounds. It's an artificial sound created by men to control women. That was her actual thing she said on stage. And if you don't believe me, if you are doubting what I'm saying, let's go ahead and pop the clip up right quick. Let me get 1 second and we'll pop it right on up. And this is on RNC Research on Twitter. And you can see her on stage saying that it's not just somebody trying to imitate her voice or a quote that's misquoted. She's actually saying, hey, the noise, the quote unquote noise, the heartbeat is fake. Let's check it out right quick. Let me get some visuals and let's get some sound. Let's not have it be too loud.
There is no such thing as a heartbeat at 6 weeks. It is a manufactured sound designed to convince people that men have the right to take control of a woman's body away from her.
So one more time, because it's kind of hard to hear. Somebody recording on their phone probably, and you got a lot of acoustics happening in this auditorium. You got these wooden floors, which is going to make the sound bounce all over the place. Let's hear it one more time.
There is no such thing as a heartbeat at 6 weeks. It is a manufactured sound designed to convince people that men have the right to take control of a woman's body away from her.
So basically she's saying, hey, you know what? These radiologists, urologists, whatever, OBGYNs, all these people, doctors, scientists, they're saying that they hear a heartbeat in a baby at 6 weeks, sometimes as early as 5 weeks, but that's all fake. That's not really real. You know what the funny part is? The funny part is that this is debunked, widely debunked. The NHS, the NIH, the Mayo Clinic, and even, wait for it, Planned Parenthood itself on their website said that they can detect heartbeats in babies at a point between 5 to 6 weeks. Planned Parenthood. Now, I think Planned Parenthood and maybe even some of the other places, NIH, they may want to change that. We've seen these companies, not companies, you've seen these organizations and dictionaries change definitions when it becomes politically disadvantageous. okay, this word in here supports the conservative argument, so we're just going to change the meaning. We're literally going to change what words mean to fit our political message. The politics has gotten crazy. It's out of control. It's like, all right, I get that you want to win an argument politically, but don't go changing what words mean to fit what you wanted to say, right? Let's not go change what things are. Let's not go change our science or opinion about science purely based on politics. That doesn't make any sense. Science should be based on actual scientific studies, not just Stacey Abrams going on television and saying anything that is contradicted by the science and the arguments behind it. Planned Parenthood themselves said they can detect heartbeats at a point between 5 to 6 weeks of a baby in the womb and gestation. So how can she get on stage and say that that's not the case? It's silly. And they can see the heartbeat with sonar, and they can see the physical baby being developed. They can detect the heartbeat. And one thing about the heartbeat of a baby, it's much faster than the mother. So you can see there's two distinct heartbeats going on with the woman inside of her body. It's her own heartbeat and then the heartbeat of the baby. So then that kills the whole my body, my choice argument, because obviously if there's two heartbeats going on, there's two bodies. So how is it your body? The baby's inside your body, but it's not your body. It's the baby and the baby's body. That's just what it is. Now, shout out to the Daily Wire. They put up this meme right quick of what Stacey Abrams thinks the baby in the womb sounds like, because she says it's fake. Hold on one second. Let me go ahead and pull it up right quick. Oh, and I saw that other video of that lady in the grocery store. We're going to talk about that as well. We sure will, because I kind of understand what's going on there, but I'll get to that in a minute. So hold on one second. Let me go ahead and pull it up. This is on Daily Wire's IG page. Let's go ahead and get this rolling here. Can I zoom in a little bit? Let's do that. And move it over a tad. If you can't see this, the caption says, woman, quote, I can hear my baby's heartbeat, unquote. The doctor, according to Stacey Abrams. And then the meme. Hilarious. So yeah, shout out to the Daily Wire. I don't know where they got this clip from, but it fits perfectly. It's like, am I just making this sound up? Am I just banging on instruments? Am I just beatboxing the sound? Or do we have instruments that can see and hear the baby's heartbeat inside the womb? Like, what's really going on? What's really happening? We know what's happening here. Stacey Abrams, to get back to her right quick, and shout out to my man right here for the beatboxing. That was A100, sir. Yeah, I like him a lot. I know I've seen him before. Shout out to him. But Stacey Abrams ain't no more than a political activist. And you got to ask yourself, if you're living in Georgia, do you want a political activist to be your governor? Or do you want a governor? Do you want a person that's going to look out for your best interests? Okay. Now, if you're going on television talking about abortion and voting rights and things that we're not really concerned about, you're talking about voting rights in Georgia, yet when they passed so-called restrictive voting laws in Georgia, had a record turnout. If the voting laws are meant to be restrictive and you're against them because they're restrictive, then how did you have a record turnout after the laws were passed? Doesn't make any sense. If you're going on TV and saying that the heartbeat inside of a mother's womb is fake at 6 weeks, then how do you have doctors, scientists, etc., telling you the opposite? How do you have Planned Parenthood, the number one abortion mill in the world, says that babies do have heartbeats at 5 to 6 weeks? Where are you basing your rebuttal to the argument of in gestation heartbeats? Where are you basing your argument against that on? Is it just your opinion? Do you have a particular scripture reading? You're no more than a Democratic Party stooge at this point. she's going to lose real big, real bad, real big. She wouldn't even be in the race if not for outside money. You see, Stacey Abrams, they think she's like Oprah or something because of the way she looks. They think that she can appeal to the black community because she's kind of big, kind of got that Oprah swag going on. But for real, even the ATLians are not really feeling Stacey Abrams. It's not going very well. And she can only win in Atlanta for the most part. Maybe some of the other cities, but really Atlanta is her only chance. If she can't win Atlanta, then she has no chance. None whatsoever. Because ATL is its own little world. It's like a city state. Okay, you got Georgia, then you have Atlanta. Atlanta might as well not even be in Georgia. Atlanta might as well be California to a certain extent. You understand? Because it's not necessarily really Georgia, although it's right in Georgia. But if you're losing 17% of the black male vote, that's a problem. That's going to affect ATL. You're not going to be able to win. And I think she's doing more just Democratic Party work rather than trying to become the governor of Georgia. The governor of Georgia would just give her more of a platform to push her ideology rather than trying to serve the constituents. You heard her say that Georgia is the worst state to live. Did you hear that? Matter of fact, if you didn't hear it from Stacey Abrams, I'll play it one more time and then we'll keep on going here. Stacey Abrams, Georgia, worst place to live. Okay.
I am
This is funny. 11 Alive is a local Georgia station, TV station, and they have the video of her saying it's the worst place to live, but then they captioned it. Can you see the caption? It says, Stacey Abrams says, Georgia is worst state in the country to live, but then explained. It's like, okay, you clean it up then, huh? You clean it up and say what you really meant, but you said what you said. And if you're trying to become the governor, you don't really lead with that. It's like, hi, fellow Georgians, this state sucks. I hate Georgia. F Georgia, but vote for me. It's like, well, ma'am, I'm not very confident in you trying to lead our state. If you say it sucks so much, then why are you trying to become the governor of such a bad state? Why don't you go to California and hang out with the crackheads and the doo-doo flingers over there and become the governor of California? Don't be in Georgia if you hate Georgia so much and you think so lowly of it.
I am tired of hearing about being the best state in the country to do business when we are the worst state in the country to live. When you're number 48 for mental health, when you're number 1 for maternal mortality, when you have an incarceration rate that's on the rise and wages that are on the decline, then you're not the number 1 place to live in the United States. But we can get there, Gwinnett.
So it's like you're making an argument as to why you shouldn't be in Georgia. But you want to be the Georgia governor? You should say Georgia's a beautiful place. You should only say positive things, not it's the worst place to live. That's crazy. So yeah, we'll see what happens coming up in the midterms. We'll see how badly she loses. Is it going to be the same as 2018 or is it going to be worse? I believe it's going to be worse. I think it's going to be a red wave. It's weird because I'm seeing some television shows, some conservative television shows, and talking about how it may not be a red wave and the Democratic candidates look stronger, but I don't think so. I do not think so. I think that it's going to be pretty bad for them. And since I'm here talking about videos and politics and whatnot, let's go ahead and roll some other stuff I have. Your man, Joe Biden. What's going on with Joe Biden? I mean, well, that's kind of a rhetorical question, really. It's kind of rhetorical. We know that Joe Biden is really, really old. And with his advanced age comes some decline. He's not all the way there. The lights are on, but ain't nobody really at the house, okay? He's a few trees short of a forest, a few crowns short of an entire 64-count box, a few French fries short of a Happy Meal. He's not all the way there. We know this. That's just settled at this particular point. We've seen him enough over the past 2-3 years to know that he's not all the way there. Furthermore, he's also an outright just nasty man. Outright nasty. We've seen him with the inappropriate touching and, sniffing hair. We've seen that over and over and over again. And, it's weird because when we mention that, people are like, oh, well, give him a break. He's just affectionate. Look, you could be affectionate or whatever, but let's just say I'm with a young lady and he comes and sniffs her hair. So we got a problem at that point. We got a problem. I'm not threatening the president. Don't get that twisted, but there's a problem. If you sniff another man's wife's hair, that's going to be an issue. I don't care who it is. It's going to be a problem. I'm not saying what will be done because I don't want anybody knocking on my door right now, but you understand what I'm saying. That's not a good thing to do. So we have another video of this man talking really crazy, really reckless. I have no idea why he said this. And people aren't really giving explanations as to why he would say a thing like this. Oh, matter of fact, I got 2 videos of Joe Biden recently. I got 2 videos of him. One is him being inappropriate. The other is him just being kind of crazy. Okay, hold on 1 second here. Let me see if I can find it. And yeah, there we go. Is this it right here? Yeah, let's go ahead and tee this up. And zoom in a little bit.
We go back a long way. She was 12, I was 30, but anyway.
Little kid lover.
Hey, Daily Wire, I was not ready for that at the end.
That way people will know exactly where my priorities are at.
But what is he talking about, though? I saw that. I was like, huh? What? Sir, what are you saying right now? Who are you talking to in the crowd, and why would you say something like that? She was 12, I was 30. We go back a long way. What are you saying? One more time, in case you missed it.
We go back a long way. She was 12, I was 30, but anyway.
Little kid lover.
I mean, what is that? But again, we know how he operates. This is a pattern. At a certain point, it's like, all right, a person could say a thing that sounds kind of weird one time. You just miss it. Okay, it's just something weird one time. We all say things that may come across the wrong way, but we don't mean it that way, right? But with Joe Biden, it's a consistent pattern of the same thing he says. It's not just a one-time thing. His own daughter wrote in a diary talking about, yeah, my dad showered with me at an inappropriate age. If you can remember your dad showering with you as a girl, you were too old. If you can remember that, there's no reason for your dad to be in the shower with you. And it's just, okay, when I was a little boy, everybody did the whole thing. When you were a little boy, like a little toddler or something, or younger than that, 1-2 years old, maybe like 5 years old, maybe at the most, you be in a tub with your cousins or something like that. That's okay. That's fine. A little kid. But if you're like showering age, you got a key to the house, you dressing yourself, you putting on your own toboggan and your rain boots for winter, and your dad's in the shower with you, call the police. Call the authorities immediately. It shouldn't be happening. So again, we see a pattern with this guy, right? Of not only that gross stuff, but also just stuff like this. So he's talking to Elton John. Now, I don't know exactly what's going on. I don't know the context here. Maybe you guys don't let me know in the comments, but you got to hear this. So again, it's Elton John. We know what Elton John, he's LGBT, right? Okay. That's just the context there. If you don't know what that is, obviously Elton John, famous musician, who's LGBT. There was a big controversy years ago because of Eminem saying some, quote, anti-LGBT lyrics. And Elton John got mad at him. Then they kissed and hugged on stage and they made up. Did they kiss? I don't know if they kissed or not, but they made up. It was all good, right? It was a big thing because Eminem said some, quote unquote, anti-LGBT stuff and Elton John was mad at him. Remember? So you have Joe Biden, Elton John, and Jill, the caretaker, on stage.
By the way, it's all his fault that we're spending $6 billion in taxpayer money this month to help fight HIV/AIDS.
Imagine that. Hey, it's all his fault, the gay guy's fault. We're spending $6 billion in taxpayer dollars on HIV and AIDS this month. So you might as well say, hey man, it's the gay community. It's the gay community's fault that we spend all this money on HIV/AIDS. I'm not saying that's no truth in that. I'm not saying that, but if Joe Biden says it, then nobody even questions it. It just clap, train seals. Elton John, who was mad at Eminem for saying the F word in lyrics, is not mad at Joe Biden for talking about, hey man, it's your fault we spent so much money on HIV/AIDS research because you're gay. Did I hear something wrong? Did I hear that? Or is that what he said? Did I hear something wrong, or is that what he said? Hey man, we spent all the money because people like you, because you're gay. That's where this money's being spent. It's like, what in the world's happening here? I mean, if Trump were to say things like this in front of the same crowd, it'd be a whole different reaction. This is why I tell people, it's like, look, if Trump were to have run as a Democrat, he could have had success as well, because a lot of these people are only clapping because they think they're supposed to clap because of the party affiliation. That's just what it is. So if Trump was out there as a Democrat before the media steamrolled him, if the media was on his side and he just was able to be a Democrat with the same things that he was saying, he'd have success. But the media was on his side and the people were against him because he's conservative, and they kind of bought into what the media said. Which is why when you ask somebody who's against Trump, who hates Trump, a never Trumper, if you ask them, hey, why do you not like Trump? What's the reason? They won't have much to tell you. If they're being honest, they'll tell you they hate him because of what the media said and because he's a conservative. But they don't have anything concrete. They can just say, hey, I don't like X, Y, and Z. Now, if you ask me, hey, what's your issue with Joe Biden? If you ask me that, I'll be like, well, the inflation going through the roof. He's a creep. He doesn't know where he is. He got pretty much 2 feet in. Okay. There's some things going on with the election in 2020 that I don't really appreciate. There's a whole laundry list of things. But the main thing is that the country is going in the wrong direction. You're sending money to Ukraine, and you're talking about you want to invade Taiwan if China was to invade. Stuff like that I don't like. But if you ask somebody the same thing about Trump, they generally won't have much to say because they've just been trained to feel that way by the mainstream media and by party affiliation. That's all. But yeah, shout out to your man, Joe. That man is all over the place. I'm talking about all over the place. All right. And we'll see if he's going to run again in 2024. If he does, that'd be a big dumpster fire. A big dumpster fire. All right. But we have more. Oh, speaking about Biden and some of the flubs. So he went on television and said that the pandemic is over. He said it was over with Scott Pelley on, what was that? I forget the name of the show. On CBS, 60 Minutes. Yeah. He said it was Scott Pelley. He asked him specifically, is the pandemic over with? He said yes. And one thing that I've noticed about Biden is that the White House always goes behind him to fix what he says. Have you seen that? Like about the whole Taiwan thing. Let me see if I can find that actually. So Biden was talking about, yeah, if China was to invade Taiwan, we would respond boots on the ground. But then the White House had to come in and say, our policy on Taiwan has not changed, which means we're not going to invade Taiwan, which means we think that there's a one China policy. And that means that Taiwan is part of China. So if China was to invade Taiwan, it wouldn't be an invasion because it's part of China. That's one China policy right there. But Biden keeps saying we're going to go and not honor that. So it's like, who's telling the truth here? He's not in charge. He'll go out there and just say certain things he's been trained to say, but I think sometimes he forgets what he's been trained to say. He'll just say pretty much anything. So let's roll the clip right here that I'm speaking about from 60 Minutes, where this question was brought up, and you're going to hear his answer. You're going to see and hear his response. Let me go ahead and zoom in a little bit.
What should Chinese President Xi know about your commitment to Taiwan?
We agree with what we signed on to a long time ago, and that there's a one China policy, that Taiwan makes their own judgments about their independence. We are not moving, we're not encouraging their being independent. We're not, that's their decision.
But would U.S. forces defend the island?
Yes, if in fact there was an unprecedented attack.
After our interview, a White House official told us U.S. policy has not changed. Officially, the U.S. will not say whether American forces would defend Taiwan. But the commander-in-chief had a view of his own.
So unlike Ukraine, to be clear, sir, U.S. forces, U.S. men and women, would defend Taiwan in the event of a Chinese invasion.
Yes.
That's crazy. You got to have the White House speak over you during the pre-recorded interview to clarify the stance. And it's weird because he said the one China thing at the beginning of this clip right here. He said one China, Taiwan, part of China, all that in the third. Then he said, well, if China was to invade Taiwan, we would respond with boots on the ground, which is a contradiction of what he just said. See, he's not all the way there. If you're going to say one thing, then stick to it. Don't say one thing 1 minute and then change it 1 second later. Stick to the same thing you just said. So they had to repeat what he said at the beginning after he already said it because he went off a script. He's not very sure of where he is. He's not sure of where he is. That's the whole thing. So they got to come in and fix what he says. And if that's happening, how do you look to the world if your leader has no idea what's going on and is not really in charge? You see, I think they want that. When I say they, I mean everybody really. I mean the world wants that because they can influence those who influence him to do what they want, right? So you can get people that are supporters of Ukraine and supporters of parts of Europe that want to see an issue with, they want to see a proxy war with Russia through Ukraine. They can influence our leaders to just support them financially. But Trump wasn't that kind of guy. You couldn't influence him. You couldn't just make him do certain things. So he was in the way. He had to get out of the way, which is why they're still trying to harass him right now. It's crazy because when I see clips from the mainstream media, they're still talking about Trump this, Trump that. And it's like, I thought you guys wanted him to get out of the way. I thought you guys didn't like Trump at all, but you're still harping on him years later. It's like, get over it. Get over it. Focus on your guy right now who has this economy in shambles. In the economy, good grief. There's so many jobs out there or job listings available, but it's like a fake economy really because there's so much fake money floating around. There's no real productivity to back up the demand for these jobs. So it's just not really real. And once they keep raising the interest rate up, it's going to go to like what, 4%, 5%. Before you know it, you're going to have an 8, 9, 10% interest rate from the Fed. And all that monopoly money is going to go away. You're going to have inflation kind of catch up to itself. It's going to be bad. It's going to be real bad. Right now, we're kind of propped up on fake money and also the oil reserves. I was watching Peter Schiff, and he was saying that Biden may drain the oil reserves to zero. I think right now he drained 40% of our emergency oil reserves, 14%. And right now, we're not dealing with an emergency. We're dealing with inflation. That's not an emergency, and it's not going away anytime soon. And guess what? As soon as midterms come about and they're over with, ain't gonna be no more oil being pumped from the reserves. We're going right back to just buying oil from Saudi Arabia or wherever we get it from, and you're gonna have $8 a gallon gas right back to it. If not for the oil reserves, it'd be about $6, $7 a gallon, $8 a gallon. California, it'd be right there right now. We saw that in California. What was it, like $10 a gallon at one point in a certain part of California? I think I saw out here where I live like $6. Nah, it might have been like $5 or something like that. It was high. It was real high. So it's going to keep on going further and further. Oh, and the housing bubble. Don't get me started on the housing bubble. That's going to be a big one too. It's a lot of construction going on that probably won't be filled, and they're going for very high prices. Okay, you're gonna have you already seeing a decrease in the amount of new housing applications for mortgages. There's already a decrease in that, and they keep on constructing more and more. Everywhere I go, I'm seeing cranes in the sky. I'm seeing housing being developed. you seeing housing being put in the alleyways, byways, highways, everywhere. They're putting up, they're clearing land for housing. But the question is, will it even be filled? And you're going for, the house help was going for $350 2 years ago. Is now going for $600,000. That's not sustainable. And it's going for that much partly because of the crunch in housing, but also because of the pandemic and the crunch on supplies. Try getting some wood, try getting plywood, 2x4s or whatever. Try getting that from Lowe's, Home Depot. So if you're paying a crazy amount more from the store as a normie, how much are they paying in the construction industry? It's a mess. And on top of that, you got the illegal immigration going on. It's going to be a problem. Oh, yeah. So that's what that is. But, yeah, black rock housing, that's a lot going on. The illegal aliens is a big thing. Absolutely. That's going to be a big thing with the illegal aliens because they keep coming in. And that whole thing, Martha's Vineyard, was crazy. They had 50 people. Like, when you saw the media report on it, it seemed like it might have been 5,000, but it literally is 50 people, 50. And here's the thing about Martha's Vineyard, right quick, before we get to the next topic. Martha's Vineyard is the perfect place to have an influx of people at any time because they're a vacation spot. People live on the island, but during peak season, the number of people rises, population rises by 10-fold or 100-fold. It's like a big increase in population during the season and a bit decrease off season. So 50 people got shipped there, 50 people got shipped there off season. There's plenty of space, resources, all of that for these people to be there. But they had to go right away. Within 48 hours, shipped off the island to a military base. It was so silly. The dumbest thing, the biggest NIMBY you're seeing in your life, not in my backyard. Matter of fact, hold on. There was a video that I may not have showed you guys from Martha's Vineyard of the illegal aliens leaving, and they seemed so happy. Oh, they were thrilled. They were thrilled. Let me see if I can find that video right quick, and if I can't, I'll move right along to the next one. But they were thrilled. Oh man. But we're not surprised, are we? We know how people are. To do as I say, not as I do, not in my backyard. That's how they operate. If I could find that, I'll link to it in the box. Yeah, I guess it was too many of them. I see you, Kevin. 50 was too many of them, quote unquote. Absolutely. That's probably what's going on. Oh, okay. Here's one more video as I'm right here talking about videos. You may have seen this video on Twitter, Instagram. Maybe you haven't. But this was pretty crazy. But I've seen this kind of behavior before. I've most certainly seen it before. And I think I understand what's going on. I've witnessed this before with my own two eyes. And I may have the reason. So this is somebody at Walmart losing their whole mind. And I'm not sure. I think the person cut the line and the guy was confronting her for cutting the line. And here's the response.
Yeah, I can't calm down. I can't be fucking touched.
I didn't touch you,
I
man.
was raped not that long ago and I can't stand another man touching me.
Well, no one did that.
I just can't.
Is this a prank?
I can't. He won't go away. He
You're
needs to go away. He's the fucking problem.
I need to leave?
No, just welcome. We'll take you to
I still got, okay. She threw some of my stuff.
Okay, you know, just take you to another.
Hell if I know. I'm so sorry.
No, you're not sorry.
She wasn't sorry when she cut in line and then
Fuck you!
screamed.
I didn't see you.
Sorry for the cussing. If you got little kids, cover their ears because she's freaking out and cussing up a storm.
To make it, I just asked her if she saw anyone in line.
Just fucking leave. Just go.
That's an
Leave.
adult.
You're making it loud.
Let's just walk up.
I'm just talking.
Walk up to sir. Walk with Chris. Walk with Chris.
Just to calm everything down.
Okay, so there's a lot here. First of all, this is a fully grown woman, got tattoos everywhere, and this little book bag. It's like a child's book bag, but she's a grown woman. This is not a child at all. This is a fully grown woman. First. Second, I think what's happening here is that it's some kind of episode she's having, some kind of mental break. Okay, mental break. Probably either there's a mental health issue or her parents did not raise her with discipline at all, with no kind of boundaries, no kind of ability to understand how to behave socially, right? If you're in line, you can't just cut the line and do whatever you want to do. You can't just say, you know what? I'm not feeling this environment. I don't feel like I'm comfortable. I'm going to come cut the line, get right in front of you. You can't do that. That's not how you act in civil society. In America, you just can't really do that. So when she's confronted with this, all of a sudden it's like, now she can't process it properly because there could be mental health going on. And also she's not been challenged before by her parents, not been raised properly. Give her whatever you want. I can just do whatever I want to do. I see that a lot in society. People just walk around. I'm driving my car, right? And you know how you have like these little crosswalks in between, like let's say a Target in the parking lot. Just walk in front. Don't look at all. They think you're supposed to just stop, and you're going to automatically stop, not thinking about the person may not see you. It could be dark, or they're not paying attention. It just automatically assume they could do whatever they want. Okay, right here, another example of it. You do whatever I want, and if you don't let me do whatever I want, I'm gonna freak out. I'm gonna freak out and just lose my whole mind. So yeah. You see a lot of this type of stuff, maybe even in the workplace with the younger people. They can't handle adversity. They can't really handle a lot of what we can handle before. And a lot of that just comes from being coddled by their parents. Now, I'm not saying that all people who are like this woman, maybe like 25, 26, I'm not saying that they're all like that, but I'm saying this is not very uncommon. I've seen this before. I've seen a grown adult freak out like a little toddler before. I've seen that on more than one occasion. 100%. Yeah, very, very bad home training. That's the whole thing. A psychotic break? Absolutely. Absolutely. I've seen that quite a bit, especially during the pandemic when people were like inside for a while, then they came back out. They couldn't really handle society how they handled it before. You're seeing that a lot still, that kind of thing going on still. And of course, there is a mask, so you already kind of know what's going on, right? The nose is out in the mask. See right there, the mask is a comfort blanket. The same thing as this book bag with the little stuff on it. It's like a little comfy, it's like a little shield. So yeah, I'm not sure where this was. It's at a Walmart grocery store or a Walmart, but I'm not really sure where in the country it was. I don't really know the city, state, whatever. All I know is that it's just a Walmart. So yeah, I've seen that quite a bit with young women, especially 25, 26. You're going to see a lot of that kind of stuff, or like 18, maybe teenagers, but definitely grown women. They do this kind of stuff, even into their 30s now. You see that a lot. So yeah, I don't know what to say about that. It's just, hey, if you see that going on, it's just a mental break. Just steer clear because you don't know what's going on with them. You don't want to feel that kind of that wrath that they may bring upon you. So just go ahead and yeah, definitely not Atlanta, not Atlanta, because if that was ATL, she might have got her hind parts tore out the frame, but that's a different story. So yeah, if it's Atlanta, it might have been in Hiram, Georgia or somewhere. Well, not Hiram, Georgia either, because that would have been the problem too. Speaking about Hiram, Georgia, have you guys seen that clip of the lady in the pool hall in Hiram? I got an email from one of you guys that gave me the full story, and I can't confirm this story, but what the person said in the email made all the sense in the world, right? So in Hiram, Georgia, there was a black woman who went to a bar with mostly white patrons. Now, if you don't know about Georgia, like I said before, you have Atlanta, which is a whole thing with transplants from all over the country. It's an international hub. You got the biggest business airport in the world right there in Atlanta. Atlanta is a little city state, I would say. The surrounding area is kind of like Atlanta as well. But once you go a little bit further out from Atlanta, you are not in Atlanta anymore. You are in Georgia, okay? So it's a little small town called Hiram's, probably about 40 minutes from Midtown Atlanta. So not that far, but not that close. Probably mostly white area. People think about Atlanta, they think about black excellence. Atlanta is black in certain places. East side, west side, south side, inside the perimeter. Once you leave that, it's not like that. It's not like that. It's like Mississippi, Alabama, North Carolina, Virginia. It's like that. Anyway, so Mama was in a bar in Hiram, Georgia, and was acting really belligerent. And she's talking about there's racism going on because there was a guy who was like, hey, why are you in this white place like this? Hold on. Let's play the video, and then we're going to react to it. People want to say that it was racism, but I think what was going on is that she was just not behaving like how everybody else was. If you go to a bar, they got patrons, they've been in there for a long time, everybody's chilling, you coming in here acting like you are in Lenox Mall, Buckhead, Midtown, downtown, that's not really going to fly in a small town like Hiram, even if everybody was black, because you're in a small town, you're not in Atlanta anymore. Let's play the clip, and then I'll just give my updated 2 cents now that I have a little bit of the backstory. All right.
Fuck is you talking about?
Sorry for the cussing. There's a lot of cussing going on. People are so upset and so agitated. There's a lot of F-bombs going on. My apologies for the cussing. It's not my fault. Blame the white man. Or in this case, the black woman. All right, let's check it out.
And you're not talking to me. You are not talking to me. No, you're not. You are not talking to me. So come with it. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to box my food, and I'm going to finish my food, and then I'll leave. That's okay with me, baby. I got a lot.
You're going to go to jail.
Some money in my account. I asked her to turn it down, and she got snappy with me, and she just threw a whole box at me. I come up here, and I play pool all the time. So all the time. She did just throw that box at me, sir. Period. I'm in a white place like this because I came up here to play pool. This is the only place with a pool table in the vicinity. So that's what I'm doing in a white place. That's what I'm doing in a white place. That's what I'm doing in a white place. That's what I'm doing in a goddamn white place. That's what I'm doing. Yeah. But guess what? Because I can come out and spend my money how I want to. You taking our comment very offensive.
So, make a long story short, with all the buzzing and stuff in my ear, long story short, she's accusing him of racism. The one guy was like, hey, why are you in the white place like this? Because obviously she's not having a good time. She's upset. So it's like, what are you even out here for? You don't want to just chill and relax. Why are you even here? Why don't you go down to Lenox and have a good time? You can bring your vape pen. You can get your hookah. You can go do whatever you want to do. Go to a rap video, have a good time. Why are you out here in Hiram, Georgia? Huh? Now, I'm going to say this. I think the reason why she's in Hiram is because Atlanta, it's a great place, right? Daytime especially, it's good. You want to stick to the beaten path, go to Buckhead. You can go to Lenox Mall in the daytime for the most part. It's okay. You might not get shot in the daytime or have your car broken into in the daytime, maybe, depending upon where you park. You can have a good time in Atlanta in the daytime. It's cool. Go to the zoo, botanical garden, whatever. But at nighttime, it's a little bit different, and it could be randomly dangerous. Not really as far as violent crime all the time, but more about vehicle break-ins and car thefts and that kind of thing. Robberies probably too. So maybe she doesn't want to be in a very dangerous or randomly dangerous place like the perimeter zone of Atlanta, Georgia. She wants to be out there where it's nicer and Hiram, right? But the problem is she wants to bring that same Atlanta, Buckhead, downtown, east side, west side, south side attitude to Hiram. And they don't like that out there. So it's not even about racism, because I'll tell you what, if that was a small all black town, it'd be the same thing. Don't come out here to McDonough or to Griffin or to somewhere south of Georgia where it's a lot of black folks and behave that same kind of way you behaved in in the city of Atlanta, because they already don't like transplants. If you're from Michigan, California, New York, they already don't like what you bring. You bring in hookah, they don't like the hookah. They don't like your level of criminality. And you want to go out to a suburb area where it's black, white, or whatever. Now we got a problem. A small town where they've been at for a long time, or a suburb area where it's been recently built up. They want to get away from you and how you behave. It doesn't matter what color you are. If you come with that Atlanta City stuff, they don't like it. That's what it is. Now, the backstory that I heard was she was just behaving belligerently the entire time before the video started rolling. She couldn't get her way. She wanted a box to go, and she didn't have the right box. So she threw the box at the bartender lady, hit her in the head with it. So then when she got a box thrown at her or given to her, it was a problem. It was always a complaint, always a problem, always a reason to fight. That kind of thing goes on in Atlanta. I've seen that a lot. I've seen it. Actually, I've seen that outside of Atlanta too. Here's something I saw, and I hate when I see stuff like this. If you're at a bar, treat the bartenders with respect. At a restaurant, treat your wait staff with respect. The waitress, the waiter, your server, treat them nice. I hate when I see somebody on the date, and I've seen this with my own two eyes. I see somebody on the date, and then the woman is like, well, bring me this, and this isn't right. I don't like the snappiness and the tone, that kind of thing. That right there it doesn't really go well in a big city, but it's kind of expected there. Once you leave the big city and go to the outskirts, they don't tolerate it at all. They don't like it. They want you to leave. They want you to go back the other way and have fun there. That's just what it is. So yeah, that's all. And once you realize that there was some kind of incident, some kind of hubbub, and she could spin it into a racial thing, now it's time for TikTok. One of the guys even said it. It was like, don't put it on TikTok because you already know what's going on. You're trying to find that viral moment. That was a whole big mess, man. The idea of racism has become so, how can I say? It's become so trivialized. It means nothing nowadays. You do have real racism that happens in America, but it's drowned out by all the fake stuff, by all the little small disputes that mean nothing. So when there's a real episode of racism, it's like a little boy cried wolf. I always say that. It's like, who cares anymore? It doesn't even really make a difference. Right. But yeah, shout out to them good old boys in the bar. What you doing in a white place like this? Hilarious. It's a good question though. Why don't you go there? Why don't you just go to, down Midtown? There's plenty of pool spots down Midtown and downtown and Buckhead. There's plenty of spots down. What you way over here for? It's simple. It's so simple. You want to get away from that, but you're bringing that kind of energy to us. So you want to escape yourself. Look in the mirror first if you want to escape that kind of environment. It's not really difficult to understand. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Oh, one more video. I got a bunch of videos now for you guys. Hold on. So there was a climate protest at the Laver Cup tennis tournament at the O2 Arena in London. Now, I may be saying that wrong. Laver, L-A-V-E-R, Cup tennis tournament. So this big brain rocket scientist decided to set himself on fire or set a fire, but he wound up getting a little crispy himself. So he didn't get burned to death, but he didn't really get burned alive either. So let's go ahead and roll this right quick. See your man right there? His arm is on fire. And I have a still picture of this whole situation that I can pull up in a minute. It's like, sir, what are you trying to prove? What point are you trying to prove? You setting yourself on fire for what? But how they dragging them right there is hilarious. Look at these legs. It's like, sir, can we do leg day at the gym or nah? It's like a cartoon character. I want to hear like boing and noises like that in the background. Sir, what in the world? So yeah, they got him up out of there. But there's a picture of him with the arm on fire and a crazy look on his face, like he didn't know that was going to happen. I was like, okay, but you got fire and you put your arm in it. What's going to be the result? Like, what's going to be the actual the thing that happens? Hold on one second. Let me see if I can find it right quick. And I'm gonna find it. I'm determined now. Hold on one second here. I'm gonna find that in a second. Matter of fact, let me just do lever cup. Yeah, there we go. And here we go. That's your man right there with his arm on fire. It's like, what was your expectation, sir? And my thing is, how'd you even get out there to the middle of the court, the tennis court, with some fire-making thing? Did you have the little match, the flintlock thing? How'd you make that fire? Was it a lighter? What's going on? Did they check you at the whole situation? I'm not sure what his shirt says. It says something about End UK something. Climate, it's a climate thing. So I'm not sure what the purpose of this particular thing was. I'm seeing some kind of liquid on his arm. Did you put gas on your arm as an accelerant? I'm seeing flame. I'm seeing like gas fumes. Shout out to the photographer right here. You got the fumes from the gasoline. You are the MVP. Okay, you need to get a Nobel Peace Prize for photography, sir. I'm seeing the gas on his arm. I'm seeing the whole thing. The expression. Oh, there's a lighter right there. I see the lighter. So you had accelerant, a lighter, and you got to the middle of the tennis court, set yourself on fire. A magic trick was hilarious. Nah, that's not won't magic. That arm on fire, that definitely was a fire right there. I'm seeing the gas, and I'm seeing his face. It's like, ow. So that wasn't a magic trick. He might have wanted it to be a magic trick, but it definitely wasn't that. You know, he turned to a s'mores right there, right in the middle of the tennis court. That probably wasn't the objective. So yeah. Oh, hold on. Here we go. So here's what he was protesting. Okay, it says, "End UK private jets." That was the whole thing. Is that jet fuel on your arm? I don't think so. If that's jet fuel, we know what that does. It melts steel beams, apparently, allegedly. Wink, wink. So if that could melt steel beams, your arm would be a whole rotisserie hot dog thing going on. It wouldn't look normal like the way it does. Yeah, I presume it does hurt. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he was thinking that all the way through. He was like, okay, I'm going to go up there. I'm going to set a fire. I'm going to get a little bit on me. But maybe he didn't realize it was going to be that much. I don't know. But anyway, shout out to him. He's okay, apparently. But we'll see what happens if he goes to any kind of law enforcement, if he goes to jail or whatever. We know how it is in a lot of these Western countries. You could do pretty much whatever you want and get a slap on the wrist, right? If you engage in some kind of racial hate hoax, then you can get a slap on the wrist. But anyway, I digress. So, I have an update for the X guy. Remember I told you the video about the X guy? I think I did that video on the last live stream where the guy put out a hatchet from his bag because he got jumped and pulled a hatchet out from his bag. And matter of fact, let's watch the first video, and then I have an interview with him where he's giving his side of the story. All right, so let me find that clip right quick. Y'all give me 1 second while I do it, and then we're gonna find the interview where he gives his 2 cents. Pardon me, to the news. Okay. So the backstory, I had the backstory too. So the backstory is that he was trying to use the bathroom. He's a messenger, a bike messenger in New York. He was trying to go to the bathroom at the McDonald's, but a security guard told him he couldn't go. So he was trying to get to the bathroom, and then he gets jumped. But he also, before I kind of skittered a little bit, he said he was a little sauced up. He had been drinking a little bit, So he got a little liquid courage, been drinking, and he swung at the guy because they were pushing on him. Then he gets jumped. So he did not want to get jumped anymore. So then the hatchet comes out. So let's watch this. Now, luckily, nobody got hurt. Everything was okay. The hatchet was more of a deterrent type of thing. Let's watch the clip, and then we get to the interview where he gives his 2 cents. So I guess the guy right there in the black is security, because there may have been something on his shirt. I think I see something. You see, I see some letters right there on his hoodie that could be that he's security. So he may be the security guard right there, but I'm not really sure. So that part of the video went viral because they beating him in the head, and it's like, that's all you got, it's nothing. So that became kind of a meme. I know sometimes violence is like trivialized, but we live in America, it's crazy nowadays, but he was not fazed by all the pummeling, right? So that part became a meme. People were saying, hey, can we get the full context? Where's the whole video?
Still standing. I ain't gonna fight you.
Now, as I said, when I first reviewed this with you guys, if I'm one of these guys that just tried to fight this guy and nothing happened, then he goes for the bag, I'm out. Because in my mind, I'm like, okay, gun time for the gun. That's my street instinct kicking in. I'm no street guy. I'm a nerd. I'm a computer guy. I don't want no problems. But I come from the street environment, so I understand a little bit of, I know when you're going for the bag, that means it's time for the gun. So I don't want to get shot. I'm out.
Look like he about to get I said it.
Bro, please, go.
And so the same guy that was just saying, you know, get the F out of here, punching him in the head. Oh, bro, please don't do it. So the hatchet comes out now. Now, I can't tell if the hatchet is still in the sheath or if it's just, you know, butt naked, ready to roll. But it doesn't really matter because the hatchet is out of the bag. No pun intended. So now he's just destroying stuff. When he did that right there, that noise, he put a hole in the wall. He said he did that. Busting the windows up. So the video goes on, and it's like a lot of menacing happening. It's a lot of menacing with the axe. Nobody got chopped up. Nobody got sliced, diced, $150, how they say in New York City. Nobody got injured from the axe, from the hatchet, pardon me. But it's a matter of, hey, it's a deterrent at that point, right? Because again, the same guy that will just punch you in the face is like, oh no, bro, stop. You see my man right there with the hands up. Oh no, bro, stop, don't do it. Okay. Now let's watch the interview with your man. And thank you to the person that sent it to me on Instagram. I appreciate you. I'm gonna find that one more time. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. I could not do it without you guys.
Now to an Eyewitness News exclusive. A man who went on a wild fast food rampage with a hatchet speaks out. The shocking attack happened inside a McDonald's on the Lower East Side. Thankfully, no one was seriously hurt. The man with the hatchet explained his actions to Eyewitness News reporter Kimberly Richardson.
Kind of waited for them to finish doing whatever they were doing, and then I just did what I wanted to do.
Pulled out a hatchet to teach them a lesson. In this exclusive interview, Michael Palacio tells me he has zero regrets for doing this Friday morning.
The most important thing is don't be afraid to defend yourself.
Michael tells me things went south at this McDonald's on Delancey Street after a security guard ignored his request to use the bathroom. He maintains words were exchanged with the customer. Then things escalated. Michael, he admits he had been drinking, threw a punch. There was plenty of pushing and shoving with three men who then turned on him. Video shows Michael on the receiving end of blows to the head. He tells me he has been jumped before and had had enough. He calmly pulled that hatchet out and police say started menacing people, smashed a glass wall, and slapped one of his attackers.
My intentions were not to hurt anyone. My intentions were not to put anyone in a hospital or dice anybody up. The reason why I pulled out the hatchet was because, okay, I'm going to get back at these guys, but I'm going to make sure that they don't jump me again.
It's not clear if police are looking for the three men, but Michael tells me he's not interested in pressing charges.
You don't need to be in jail to learn a lesson. I hope that the fear they felt that night is enough to never assault someone again.
So why did Michael have a hatchet in his bag to begin with? He's a messenger and tells me he just feels safer carrying it.
I'm always out there on the road, so I'm always actually getting into it with drivers, which is what the Tomahawk is for. It's not for people. It's for trees and vehicles.
Michael is charged with, among other things, menacing and criminal mischief.
Well, there you have it. So, yeah, he's out on the street because of New York. He could do whatever you want. I mean, New York, really, I think the guys that were involved should have also been arrested, because it's like, if you punch one guy, why do you have three guys punching you back? You see what I'm saying? They jumped him. So even if there was an issue with him punching the one guy, it should be just like a one-on-one thing. Why are other guys getting involved with it? You see what I mean? So at a certain point, it's like, do we arrest him? How about the other guys? Are we going to find them? But it's New York, though. You could do you could do much worse than that and get out, because ultimately what they're saying is that it was like menacing and destroying property. Nobody got hurt. But you've seen guys that have attempt murder or actual murder charges get out with no bail. So if you could kill somebody, allegedly, and get out with no bail, then why would you be held on bail for what he did, which was not anywhere near that? You see what I mean? It's just New York City. That's how it is. There was another guy that got out on bail recently. I forget who that was. I covered another story in New York City where the guy got out, and it's just like, the guy that killed the young man in North Dakota got out on bail. We'll talk about that in a minute. So Kaylor Ellingson, if I'm saying his name wrong, y'all please pardon me. But Kaylor Ellingson, and I think Trump spoke about him. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find that clip. So this 41-year-old man named Shannon Brandt killed an 18-year-old named Kaylor Ellingson after a street dance party in North Dakota, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on, let me pull the article up. Because he said that the 18-year-old was part of a Republican extremist group. And remember when Biden said something about these MAGA extremists, these MAGA Republicans, they're a threat to our society. He said that during a primetime speech. And then days later, you got this guy that goes out there and kills this young man because he's a quote-unquote Republican extremist, ran him over, and he got out on bail. Talking about I got a family to tend to, I got a job. Oh, okay. That sounds great. So, yeah, this was in North Dakota. What town was this in? Maybe I can find it. But yeah, that's what happened. Ran him over with his car like in the alleyway, and the young man called his mom because the guy was chasing him. But by the time the mom got there, he was already deceased. It's crazy. It's a crazy story. But again, that guy who killed him got out on bail. So again, back to what I was saying about the situation in New York City. If you can just tear up a McDonald's with a hatchet and get out, why is that surprising when you could kill somebody and get out on bail? And you have the new thing in Illinois where you could stalk somebody, squat on somebody's house, kill somebody, and get out with no bail. At the same time, they're trying to make us not have our weapons anymore. So you want to make the country safer. I mean, you want to make the country less safe and less prepared to deal with criminality. For what reason? What's the purpose? You want to flood us with illegal aliens. You don't know where they come from, what kind of crimes they committed, what kind of diseases they have, what if they're part of a criminal organization, organized gang, Mermaid, etc. You have no idea what's going on. At the same time, you can't have guns. At the same time, you can't call the police for serious things because you're not going to be able to help us. They said in the Illinois situation, that the so-called purge bill, the purge law they're going to pass next year, they're saying that if somebody's on your property, you can't, the police can't come to remove them. You got to figure out how to remove them, and you got to figure out if what you're going to do is legal or not. It's crazy. So you're going to be at the mercy of criminals in many places in the country. At their mercy. So yeah, it's a mess in big cities, but also it's a mess in other parts of the country that aren't big cities. North Dakota, you got somebody that killed a young man over a political disagreement and got out on bail. How? So it's a mess, New York City, etc., a lot of the liberal places, but it's also a mess in other parts of the country where this same kind of ideology is spread. It's like a cancer. It's crazy. So yeah, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Oh, Nikki Haley, this was a fantastic story. Fantastic story. Now, Nikki Haley was attacked on The View for not going by her first name. And Sunny Holson is the one that attacked her. Let me see if I can pull this video up right quick. And then we're going to talk about it because it's so rich. This was the perfect video to illustrate the hypocrisy of the left. The perfect video for that. Let's go ahead and pull it up right quick, and we'll talk about it. All right, hold on. Let me just go ahead and pull this up like this. There we go. That's much better. So we can get a fuller screen. Hold on.
And there's one other guy. I have to. Wow.
No, not John Tester. That ain't what I wanted. Okay, here we go. This is what I wanted.
I think we've got some if they're willing to challenge Trump. I'd love to see Nikki Haley. I'd love to see Liz Cheney. I'd love to see
Nikki Haley, the chameleon, and Liz Cheney, who's the savior.
I disagree. I think that Nikki Haley was an incredibly effective governor of South Carolina. Wait, Alyssa, I have a question for you. Aside from Ron DeSantis, a lot of people don't go by their actual real name.
What is her name?
I believe it's.
So this was a very interesting conversation because these women are not being forward with each other. They're not being straightforward with each other. Because Sunny's like, what's the real name again? No, it's not Nikki. And then she's like, well, people don't go by their name all the time. What she wanted to say was, you don't go by your name. That's what she wanted to say. She wanted to say, you guys don't go by your names. So why are you attacking Nikki Haley? She wanted to say that, but was trying to be courteous. But that'll come out a little bit later. Let's keep on watching.
And I don't want to mispronounce it. It's Indian, but her background's Indian.
Doesn't necessarily, I think if she leaned into...
A ton of people don't go by their color name. Wait, a serious question.
So that's the first part. Then here's the next part.
Or something? Well, and by the way, Mike Pompeo slightly announced over the weekend. It didn't get a ton of attention, but I think a lot of people will actually challenge Trump, and they should.
War guy?
Oh, no, that ain't it. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Give me 1 second, because they got these videos all over the place. That was the first video I wanted to play, but no, there's more here. There is most certainly more. Let me get to it right quick. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. All right. Let me see if I got it right here.
I think we've got some if they're willing to challenge Trump. I'd love to.
Oh, that was the same video. Hold on. I got to find the Nikki Haley. I got to find that. Because it shows the hypocrisy. Basically, before I get to it, because I just want to get in, I just want to get straight to it. They went ahead and said, "Hey, Sunny, you don't go by your first name because Sunny is not Sunny Hosting's name. Her name is Asuncion Cummings Hosting, not Sunny. Sunny is a nickname that she goes by. It's a stage name. It's not her name. Okay, so and then Sunny was like, "Well, I go by that because people can't pronounce they can't pronounce Asuncion because of their education. It's like, well, your co-host just said she cannot pronounce Nikki Haley's first name. So why is it okay for her to go by a nickname? Because there could be an issue with people pronouncing the first name that she has, which is Nimrata. If they can't pronounce Nimrata and she goes by Nikki, then why is it okay for you to go by Sunny? Because Asuncion is hard to pronounce. Furthermore, Nikki is part of Nikki Haley's name. Her name is Nimrata Nikki Haley. Okay? Her name was Nimrata Nikki Rondawa when she was single, and when she got married, it changed to Haley. Same as Sunny Hostin. It was Asuncion Cummings before she got married, then it became Asuncion Cummings Hostin. That's what happened. Furthermore, you have two more people on The View that don't go by their real name. Whoopi Goldberg, that's not her real name at all. Her birth name is Karen Elaine Johnson. Seriously, Karen, Caryn Elaine Johnson. You got a black Southern lady's name. Now you got a Jewish New Yorker grandma name, Whoopi Goldberg. How'd that happen? Okay, did you get married to a Goldberg? Maybe. Let's check right quick. I want to see how that happened. I think Goldberg was because she was a comedian and it came from Whoopi Cushions. But Goldberg, I'm not sure where that came from. Okay, she's been married 3 times, of course, to Alvin Martin, David Klassen, and Lau Trachtenberg. She's single right now. Her daughter's name, Alexandria Martin. So where's Goldberg come from? Your last name is Johnson. Your 3 husbands' names, Martin, Klassen, Trachtenberg. Where's Goldberg come from? Where's Whoopi come from? Your name is Karen Elaine Johnson. And during that segment, she was quiet as a church mouse. Quiet as a church mouse, didn't say a word because she knows that she can't speak about Nikki Haley not going by her first name. And like I said, Nikki Haley is going by her middle name, not a nickname like Whoopi Goldberg and Sunny Hostin. Also, Joy Behar, that's not her name either. Her name is Josephine. And it's a crazy, like, Italian type of name. Hold on. Let's look at Joy Behar. Her actual birth name was Josephine Victoria Occhiuto. I can't pronounce that. Occchiuto. She got married and it became Behar. Okay. She got married to Joe Behar and she's been divorced from him since 1981. Kept the name though. And it's funny because she got married again in 2011 to this guy named Steve Janowitz, but kept the Behar name because of professional reasons, right? Kept another guy's name because of professional reasons, not even their own name. So Joy is a nickname. You got 3 members of The View that all go by nicknames, and that's fine. But Nikki Haley goes by her middle name, and that's a problem. And she's accused of being somehow trying to blend into white people, all that and the third, trying to pass as white. Well, when AOC was going by Sandy rather than Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, what was that? Barack Obama was going by Barry, what was that? When Joy Behar, her name is Josephine, she goes by Joy, what's that? When Karen Elaine Johnson, Whoopi Goldberg, what's that? When Asuncion goes by Sunny, what's that? Again, they do the exact same things they say that we do, but they really do it. So it's like, it's projection all the time. And as I said before, without double standards, they would have no standards. They would have no standards without double standards at all. But that's typical of the left though. And they put it out there on their shows all the time for the world to see. So it's no surprise here what's going on. No surprise at all. We know kind of what's going on. We know what it is. All right. It's all part of Hollywood. And you know, The View is a big LA show. LA is full of actors, even if they're not necessarily in a movie or something like that. Whoopi Goldberg is an actress, obviously. Who else? Sunny Hostin. They're all actresses, but in different ways. You can find different ways to become an actress. You may not be in a television show or in a movie, but you may be on a news show. That's how it is. Same way in DC. Same way CNN, ABC, actors and actresses. You don't really find a lot of real people, which is why alternative media has become a lot more popular because people, they see us and we're like right in our houses with real people rather than being made up and fake and phony. That's kind of what that is. So yeah, shout out to The View for exposing themselves time and time again. That's just what they do. Right? Oh, one more video. I got a lot of videos. Whoopi Goldberg is an actress. Yes, she was in movies back in the day. She was in probably one of the worst movies of all time, The Color Purple. Oh man, that was terrible. Like it's considered to be a classic, but it was horrible. It was a horrible depiction of black men as like basically black men were like the new slavers. It was a complete mess. That movie did so much damage. It was something. So what was she in besides The Color Purple? Sister Act, of course, that was a big one in the 90s. There's a lot, but I don't want to get to her discography. I'm not trying to get into her filmography. I'm not really trying to say Whoopi Goldberg was some kind of fantastic A-list actress. She was just very popular in the 90s. So here's a video about Little Mermaid. Now, there's quite a few reaction videos to this. My stance before I show you this video and before the video came out is that The Little Mermaid, if you saw that as a child and you saw the original white Ariel and you see the new one, it's going to be like, well, this is kind of weird. It's not really going to make a lot of sense to you all the time because it's like, that's not what I remember. I saw The Little Mermaid as this as a child, and now I'm seeing a whole different Little Mermaid. I'm seeing the black lady with dreadlocks, but Ariel was this white lady with wavy hair. So it's like, it's just kind of weird. White girl, white lady, whatever. You understand what I'm saying? It just does not look the same. But if you have a child who has not seen it before and they're seeing it for the very first time, it's not going to be weird to them because there's no point of reference to say, oh, that's strange, that's weird. But if they saw the first Little Mermaid and they saw the white Ariel and then they see the new one, it's like, okay, they're going to either appreciate it or be like, that's weird because that's not who I saw at the beginning. I don't really care what they do. I'm just saying it'll look weird if you saw it one way and then it changes. Same way with anybody. If you have Blade, right? Blade, I know as Wesley Snipes. If you make Blade again with, what's your man's name? Not Ryan Reynolds. Is that his name? Not Ryan Seacrest, Ryan Reynolds. If you put Deadpool in place of Blade, I'm like, oh, what's happening here? That's Deadpool. That ain't Blade. What are we doing? Okay. If you put some kind of trans LGBT person as Wolverine, I'm like, okay, where's Hugh Jackman? What are we doing? That's not it. I can't do nothing with that. Sometimes if you change the race, it makes sense. Like if you had James Bond as Idris Elba, I could kind of believe it because he has that kind of vibe and he's British. It kind of makes sense a little bit. And they always change James Bond to different guys. They're all white guys, but it's different guys. But it's not the same thing as Ariel in the fictional story. If that makes any sense. But anyway, so here's a little kid responding to the new trailer for Little Mermaid.
What blasphemy did she just say?
You can't be that girl.
Why is it not the real one?
Dishonor.
It's not because like Ariel's white, not brown. Like, why would they put a movie like that? And Ariel's hair is long, not braided.
So, I mean, people were so incensed about people having an opinion about a Little Mermaid and it doesn't look right. But a little girl, shout out to her, cute as a button. When she says it, what can you really say? This is a little kid in their opinion. What can you say? That's what I'm saying. It's like she already saw the first Little Mermaid, and now she sees it. It's just like, okay, well, who is this? Like this ain't the same. This ain't really it. This ain't really it. And that's just her being honest. And that's probably the opinion of most people if they're being honest with themselves. If you see one thing one way and then it changes, it's kind of off-putting. It's a little jarring. That's all. It's not even about racism, really. It's about this doesn't make sense of what I saw before. the source material, my original impression was different than this. That's all. So yeah, shout out to a little kid, just being honest and telling the truth. Now, if anybody has anything to say about her, you got to be a terrible person. It's like, if you want to talk about her, like, I don't care if she said The Little Mermaid was great, it was fantastic. A little kid, leave the little kids alone, right? If you want to talk about her in a negative way, what's going on with yourself? Check yourself and figure your own life out if you want to attack her for her personal opinion, right? But yeah, I agree with what she said 100%. That's right on point. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Also, my opinion about The Little Mermaid is that I think, like I said before on this channel, I think Halle Bailey, The Little Mermaid, is beautiful, 100% beautiful. I'm talking about just A1, just great. And she looks great as Little Mermaid, but she does not look like the Little Mermaid. She looks great how they got her made up, but I saw the first one, so it's like kind of weird. You can make her up and put her in a different movie and build a franchise around her. They should do that. But that's not what they're doing. They want to just change it to change culture. It's weird. Give me an original movie with new characters that has an original feel, just something different rather than rehashing the same old topics. It's like Hollywood, they get really bored. They keep on doing the same thing over and over again. And I think the new wave now is they keep doing the same thing over and over again. So then they want to put the LGBTQ stuff in it. I've seen that recently about The Wizard of Oz. They want to LGBTQize The Wizard of Oz. Hold on 1 second. I got an article just for the headline. That's all. Wizard of Oz, LGBT. Did I see the Wizard of Oz LGBT? Maybe I'm tripping. I thought I saw that. Oh, here it is. There we go. So this is on Pink News, probably a gay website if I'm not mistaken. New Wizard of Oz remake will be unapologetically queer. Director promises. So Yellow Brick Road, how about the LGBTQ colored brick road? Huh? How about it? How about the rainbow brick road? So the guy that's behind it is behind the show called Blackish, if you ever seen that. Blackish, I don't like because it's like, how can I describe this? I don't like TV like that, but I saw some of the Blackish show. I was just curious to see what they did with it. Blackish to me feels like a parody of black people from non-black people. It's like what black people who grew up at suburb, like around 99% white people think about how black people are. I just didn't really, it was kind of weird to me. It was like you got black folks trying to quote unquote be black rather than just being themselves. And a way to be black, just be who you are. Whoever you are, just be that. Don't try to be a certain thing that you think you're supposed to be. That's corny to me. I hate that. But yeah, so Wizard of Oz, you see, that's coming out. You want to bring your kids there. Be careful. Be careful because you're going to get LGBTQ eyes. How are you going to have a gay scarecrow? Tell me that though. A gay Tin Man. Like, what are we doing? Is he going to be a little teapot rather than the Tin Man? Is Lion going to be a liger or something like that? Is he going to be, what are we going to do here? Just so weird. The dog's going to be gay. Toto going to be gay. Dorothy's going to be non-binary. Come on. Why? But of course, that's where it goes because they want to keep changing things because they want to normalize certain stuff. They want to normalize certain things that really shouldn't be normalized, in my opinion. If somebody's gay, that's whatever, that's their business, but it shouldn't be a thing that's impressed upon children to be. That shouldn't be what's going on here. But I'll move on. Super chats on deck, and then I'll get to the calls. It's a few things I missed on the list, but I don't got a lot of time. I'm kind of out of time right now. We're going to get to the calls in a minute. Then we'll get to the other things a little bit later. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internet. Thank you for being here. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do so. It is 100% free. I thank you in advance for doing that. I most certainly appreciate you. Couldn't do it without you. But let's go ahead and go to the supers. And then we keep on rocking and rolling here. So what's today's date? 24th. Let's go to the beginning. Thank you to Caius Posthumous, who says, ABL, what say you about China having a coup d'etat? I think that's fake news. If that happens, then I'll be completely shocked. Because I think the Chinese people are so, how can I say? I don't want to say oppressed, but they're so reluctant to fight against the government. Okay, Tiananmen Square was the last time, and you saw what happened with Tiananmen Square, a whole massacre. So I don't know. If they do it, I'll be very, very surprised, very shocked, but I doubt it'll happen. We'll see. Also, Gavin Newsom wants to turn bodies into fertilizer. What, human beings, like dead people in the fertilizer? I mean, it's crazy. All right. Let me see. Also, shout out to Caius, who says Gavin Newsom is trying to prosecute Ron DeSantis. It's like you're trying to prosecute him, but at the same time trying to run against him for 2024. Talk about prosecutorial misconduct right there. That's a slam dunk case. You need to go to the penitentiary for that, sir. Thank you to Charles Turner Jr., who says, happy birthday 2 days late to ABL. Of course, that greasy lip witch, not the other word, WITCH. Donna Lamone was left speechless after saying his nonsense. Thank you for that. Pete Sangria says, happy birthday. Many more to come. Thank you for that. Kais also says, happy B-Day, ABL. May good fortune and health bless you. Thank you for that. DJ Jizzle says, happy birthday to you, ABL. You old whippersnapper. I wanted to say old goats, but you're still young and always handsome. Thank you for that. Thank you to Daniel Orr, who says, happy birthday. We have the same birthday. I just turned 50. Happy birthday to you as well. A great day to be born. Shout out to you. Hitting that big 5-0, a landmark for you. Happy birthday. Leo Mazzina says, can someone show these liberal politicians a picture of an ultrasound? Nah, they don't want to see the ultrasound. They don't want to see what science produces in reality. They want to just see things from their own point of view, and that's it. Thank you to Mike H, who says, hail ABL. Thank you for that. Willie Leon says, do illegal immigrants pay taxes? Debating liberal. They can, but usually they don't, because you have to, you could pay taxes, but they don't a lot of times, because if you're here illegally and nobody knows it, then how would you pay taxes? You see what I'm saying? So they normally wouldn't, but you could, depending upon where you are. Federal income tax, I'm not really sure about that. You guys let me know about that. Can you be an illegal alien, illegal, not just a non-citizen, it's a different story. You could be a non-citizen and pay taxes, but illegal alien is something different. A non-citizen is a green card holder, a work visa person. That is a non-citizen. You're here legally, but you're not a citizen. Illegal alien means you're just here illegally with no paperwork, no nothing, no visa, no green card. You're just here under the radar. So how are you paying taxes with no paperwork to say that you're in America? Apple says, I've been very critical of FBI agents, so I will give credit when it's due. FBI agents Steve Friend and Cal Surfing, thank you for telling the truth. Shout out to them. Willie Leon says, debating a friend, and he pulled up a bunch of articles claiming illegals are brought into the U.S. They said 50 to 75% of illegals pay federal and state tax. I was confused because illegals work under the table. That number is high. I think they could pay taxes, but I don't think it's that high. I don't think so. If you're here as a non-citizen, you pay taxes, but not illegal alien. That's not, I think they're kind of getting these things conflated as the same thing. That's not what it is. All right. But you can get an EIN number and pay taxes, but that's not what happens normally. That's not, they send money back to their country of origin and they pay money here to live, but they're not necessarily going to the IRS paying taxes, because why would they have to? Why? Like, how can they know that they're here? Now, if you're getting paid and you're getting a 1099 or something like that, then you may need to go pay taxes, because now you're kind of in the system. But I'm not sure how that works. If you're getting a 1099 as an illegal alien, now your employer's on the hook for employing an illegal alien. So we'll see. Yeah, not federal income tax, sales tax, stuff like that, but not federal income tax. Again, non-citizen is not the equivalent to an illegal alien. Also, Apple says FBI agents are not investigating real crimes. FBI agents maliciously prosecuting Trump supporters. Deep state FBI, God will judge your treason and evil. Thank you for that. Thank you to the Petersons for your donation. Thank you to Apple again for a few here. God bless J6 mega patients at DC jail solitary. Community's reaction to Uncle Tom 2 was a good word. It's up in the air. People like it. Some people don't, but that's just what it is. Also, ABL favorite reptile, favorite sea creature. Favorite reptile, like a lizard, like a Komodo dragon, a big lizard. Favorite sea creature, the orcas. I like those because they're like misunderstood. They're like big dolphins, but not whales. Yeah, killer whale is a dolphin. So shout out to them. Also, any ABL fans recommend or see My Son Hunter recommendations. Favorite Denzel Washington movie, Malcolm X, Training Day. That's a good question. Probably Denzel movie. Probably Malcolm X. Maybe Training Day. That was also good. He was in quite a few good movies. Book of Eli, stuff like that. But definitely Malcolm X was great. Spike Lee did a good job on that movie, Malcolm X. He's unfortunately a raging liberal, but that movie was very well done. And you know what? I compared that to Ava DuVernay and her MLK movie. That movie sucked so bad. Oh my goodness. It was the worst movie ever. I mean, she had everything that she needed. She had Oprah, Common, a brand new actor, a British actor playing MLK, Oyelowo. You had everything to succeed. Hollywood backing, Oscar rumors. That movie sucked so bad. It was terrible. Ava DuVernay sucks as a director. So bad. She came from doing like PBS daytime movie type stuff. Like dramatizations. You ever see like Unsolved Mysteries? There's a little mini show in it. The person was killed with a 2x4, a blunt instrument. And it'd be a 2x4 flying through the screen, later like this. She does that kind of work. That is not the equivalent to a Hollywood blockbuster movie. But Malcolm X, very well done. Very well done. And I don't like Spike Lee, but that was a good movie. Point blank, period. Denzel did a great job. Anyway, I digress. Apple also says, hey, you're going to buy a new truck, Ram, Toyota, EV, Tesla. I may keep my Tundra because I got a V8 number one. And if I get a Tundra, a new Tundra is going to be a V6. So I don't know if I want to go down to a V6. I mean, I guess it'd be fine, but I don't want a V6. I want a V8. You know, so I may keep my truck that I have now. But I saw the Ram. I like the Ram interior. But if you got a bad drivetrain, it's no point in me going that direction. But I'll probably keep my truck that I have because I like it a lot. Thank you to Herman, the German, for your donation. Thank you to Ocean Breeze Salty, who said mostly peaceful hatchet chopping. Thank you to Mortimer Duke, who says, hell in a handbasket, brother. And is there more? Thank you to William Livingston, who says, how's it going? Everything's all good, boss. And thank you to F Ranger Xbox, who says, today I'm 62. Oh, great day to be born. Happy birthday to you, man. Happy birthday. Everybody's born the same kind of September 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th. Very good time to be born. So shout out to y'all. All righty. So we got calls on deck. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. I'm reading the comments at the same time, talking about V8. So 434-658-1220. I don't want a bike. I don't want a motorcycle because I heard a story about a crash on a motorcycle and it kind of turned me off from it. So I'm getting quick story before I get to the calls. Very quick story, like 1 minute, I promise. So I'm getting towed because my car was not acting right back in the day. I might have been like 2021. So I'm getting towed. and the tow truck dude was cool. Black dude had been in the jail before. He talking about how he been in jail for a long time. He came out, he doing good with himself, et cetera, et cetera. And he said he's seen quite a few things since he's been on the job as a tow truck driver after he got out of jail. And one thing he saw was a motorcycle accident where the person crashed and they crashed so much impact and on an angle on the curb to where the head came off and it rolled down the street. And he saw the trail of the blood from the body and the head was like down the street. A helmet was on, but it didn't make a difference because it hit him like right perfectly on his neck. So it severed his head from his body, decapitated his head, like guillotine type stuff in the street. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm cool on the bike. I am cool on the bike. Y'all got it. A lot of you guys drive bikes very well. You guys are on the road, coordinated, LED lights in the dark. Hey, man, y'all have a great time. I'll be in my truck. I will be in my truck. I don't want to have my head come off my body with my helmet still on it. All right? I'm cool on that. So anyway, I'm sorry. If you're eating dinner, I'm sorry. I apologize. Don't blame me. Blame the white man. But I digress. Let's get to the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Let's go ahead and get rocking and rolling. But yeah, I heard that story. I was like, 2021. I'm like, you know what? Y'all got it. Y'all have all the fun. Decapitated head off. Like it was a pebble or like a stone, a boulder. It's crazy. Calling I'm speaking to 559. Who am I speaking to?
ABL, Patrick from California. How's it going?
It's all good, man. How about yourself?
Oh, not too bad, man. How was your birthday?
Oh, it was great, man. I had a good time. Absolutely.
Oh, awesome, man. Hey, you know what? Blessings to you for the rest of the year, and may good health and fortune and good times roll, man. I mean, hey, got a whole year ahead of you, so God bless you, sir.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
I wanted to talk with you real quick about, did you hear, do you read the Washington Examiner frequently?
Occasionally.
Okay. I just wasn't sure if you'd seen the article that came out a couple days back about how the Republican House is trying to draft a bill to introduce legislation to designate the Mexican cartels as terrorist organizations, and it's being led by Rick Scott. Basically, they're, I guess, trying to introduce legislation that would coincide with what Donald Trump was trying to do back in, 2019, 2020 with his administration. And I just was wondering, since Texas, it seems, has already declared an invasion, I guess, basically initiating Section 10, Article 2 of the Constitution, what would your thoughts be on that as far as them going forward with this sort of legislation? Do you believe that it would have steam to get enough votes in the House and Senate to move forward to actually pass and become law? And then also, if it does, do you see us striking these cartels militarily in that sense? And so I just was curious what you thought about that.
That's a very good question. It should go through the Senate with no problem. The House and Senate. It shouldn't be a partisan issue because I don't think who's going to really be against naming these organizations as terrorist organizations, because they are very violent and they're also operating here in America. So that shouldn't really be a problem, but it might end up being a political issue because of the whole border situation. So Democrats may think if we vote on this, then we're saying there's a problem with the border. So then they got to address that, and they don't want to address it. So it could be a political thing based on that. But if they're able to bypass that, then they could just say, all right, let's go ahead and get it passed. But now, would we strike them militarily? I don't think so. I think that'll happen if they are a threat inside of America, and not only on the border, but inside, like in the interior. But aside from that, I don't think they would get struck militarily, because also we have to deal with Mexico and kind of like invading or encroaching upon their territory militarily, and that'd be a problem.
Right. You know, I do agree, and I do see that, and I wonder if they will keep the peace in that sense, because I was watching Joe Rogan, I think a year ago, and he had a guy on there who was like in deep with the cartels, and he was like some sort of undercover journalist, and he was saying, you know, these cartels, they have drones themselves and technology that is basically side and side, step by step, or, you know, lockstep with the Mexican military. Sometimes they can even outmuscle the Mexican military. So, you know, it's definitely a question of not if, but when, in my opinion.
Well, yeah. I mean, we'll see how that goes, but that's going to be kind of complicated. But you know, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Anyway, I just appreciate your 2 cents on that, ABL. Thanks so very much, and take care. Have a great evening. God bless the United States of America and our 45th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate it. All right, great call. That's good. Good question too about the cartels. Will we strike the military? That's a very good question. 708, you're on the line.
Yeah.
Who am I speaking to?
I'm sorry, what?
Can you hear me?
Hang on a second, I gotta turn down my TV.
All righty.
Hello?
Yes.
ABL?
Yes, it is.
How are you?
Great. About yourself?
I'm good. I gotta get to my notes. I wrote notes down because I wanted to talk to you. You've covered like a multitude of topics, sir. A couple things I really want to talk about is the 53, I believe, migrants that perished in a tractor trailer.
Yes.
And the impact of what that means. I mean, it's not just like, I don't think anybody cares. Who cares that those are not only 53 lives lost, but people who cared about them? Nobody gives a crap. And I'm like, why isn't Kamala talking about those people? Why isn't Joe talking about those people? Why isn't any Democrat talking about those people? That disturbs me. The other thing is, because you talked about so many things, and I've been thinking about there is a cultural war, there's a spiritual war in this country. They're releasing a documentary, kind of a docu-series, I guess, or a drama series, whatever you call it these days, where they take a historical event and they act it out. And I believe they just released something on Netflix about Jeffrey Dahmer. Well, I don't know if it's Amazon, Hulu, Netflix, who's releasing it, but there's going to be something about Emmett Till. I'm very concerned because there are beautiful stories, and his mother has been involved in those documentaries, and they are the most they evoke the emotions like nothing else. And when I think about why are they making a documentary about Emmett Till today in 2022? Because you can, if you want to learn about the kid, you can learn about it. It's a horrendous story. The only reason I can think why they would be doing this is to evoke anger and hatred and division, and there's no other reason, because there's no other emotions that could come from that. Even in a person such as myself, I get angry when I hear that story. I feel for that child. I have biracial children. That could be my son. I have a son going to be turning 17 in a few days. That could be my child. And that mother had such courage to do what she did. And I feel like making a documentary about it it's taking something from her, but it's also reopening a wound. It's scraping the scar because the scab's gone. It's like just cutting into that scar and, hey, let's relive all the trauma of the past. I don't see the point of it. All right, so I don't want to say anything more. I want to say one other thing. Because I do have a daughter who has gender issues. So, and she and I clash every time we talk about politics. And so I was watching Big Girls on Amazon. And I watched the first episode and I was like, oh my God, blah, blah. I was thinking all these things that people think that are very judgmental. And so I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to give it a chance. I watched it today and I realized, you know what? Whatever issues those people have, they are not mean people. They are very nice people. Lizzo, if you actually listen to her talk, she is a very loving, kind, intelligent, insightful person who happens to be, okay, she's fat. But irrespective of the fatness, it's not like she's advocating being sedentary. So I got to give her that kind of kudos. But I watched that whole show and I thought, based on every reality show I've ever saw, this was the only show where every person was supporting every other person and being kind and loving. And so I think they have something they can teach me, and I have something I can teach them. And if we don't realize that unless we're all willing to compromise, we are all going to fall, I don't know what other, I don't see any other way. And I think, you know, we all have to come together and we just all have to bend. We all have to bend. You got to be flexible. You got to bend and you got to give a little bit, because everybody's not going to be happy, but at least all people can be happy at least some of the time, rather than nobody being happy any of the time. So, I don't know. Thank you for listening to me. I really appreciate you.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate you.
Bye.
All righty. Shout out to her. Get to some more here. Let's go to 918 in the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, what's up, ABL? Scott from Oklahoma. How you doing, buddy?
It's all good, man. What's going on?
Hey, not a lot. I don't know why I got echo. I got my volume turned down. Anyway, does that sound better?
I don't hear anything. You sound fine.
Okay, good. I sound better now. All right. Anyway, man, great show tonight, man. You got a lot of great topics and, you know, good callers already. But, you know, here's my thing, though. Man, I got an issue. I mean, has there been any good or positive news come out of the Joe Biden administration since he took office?
No. I've not seen any. If anybody can say anything that he's done positive, I'd love to see it in the comments, but I've not seen anything.
Yeah, every day it's like something new, something bad happens. It's getting kind of worrying about the future of America, honestly. I mean, because he's doing some damage that could be irreversible, I'm afraid. But, and speaking of that, I'm ready to talk about the incident in North Dakota. Okay, this should be a huge news story, but nobody's covering it. Okay, the only people I saw covered in the mainstream media was Greg Gutfeld on Fox, which he's pretty cool. I still like him, you know. But when he came out with that speech a few weeks ago and said that MAGA Republicans are the biggest threat to democracy and the biggest terrorist threat, basically.
Yeah.
And then this dude up in North Dakota, a 41-year-old man, ran over an 18-year-old kid and admitted that he did it because he thought he was a MAGA Republican. I mean, does Joe Biden, should he be held accountable for that in any way?
I believe so, because, I mean, it's a direct correlation. He went out and did an entire speech against the so-called MAGA Republican extremists, and he's been doing that for a while. It wasn't a one-off. It wasn't a one thing he just said randomly. It was a whole speech dedicated to that, and he's been saying it over and over again in fundraising videos and stump speeches, etc. So if somebody goes out there and does something like that, and they use your exact words, almost verbatim, at a certain point, you need to be held accountable.
Absolutely. And you know what really upsets me, I won't say the word I wanted to say, but is how just the media just didn't even cover it. You know why? Because it was two white people. You know, if it would have been a white dude running over a black kid,
yeah. Oh
my God, it'd be huge. But no, they're not even talking. No one's even talking about it. But anyway, I don't want to go out on a really negative note like that. I want to end on a positive note. You know, I love some classic rock music. I love classic rock. And I really love Jimi Hendrix, and I've been kind of on a Hendrix kick for the last week. Have you heard him play the national anthem on his guitar at Woodstock back in 1969?
I have heard that. Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah. So if you want a good, positive thing to hear, unlike what's coming out from the news, yeah, I recommend everyone, and especially all those athletes, Colin Kaepernick, Megan Rapinoe, why don't you look that up? And if you kneel to that, then you don't belong here, you know.
That's right.
And I will leave it at that. And I'm going to say, love you, man. Love everybody in the chat. There was some really funny comments about that Wizard of Oz remake. I had no idea that was even happening. Yeah. All right, man. I'll leave you alone, and I'll just sit back and listen to the rest of the show.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate it.
All right, later, dude.
All right, good call. And let's get to 719 on the line. One speaker to.
Hey, ABL. This is Matt. How are you doing tonight?
Good, man. Can't complain about yourself.
I'm okay. Reason I'm calling. Have you heard anything about Xi Jinping being arrested and that there's a coup going on in China?
I've heard about a coup going on in China. Like, I've heard little things here and there, but I've not really heard a lot of details.
Okay. That's what I was asking. I'm very curious about that because I would think the mainstream media might cover something like that, you know?
Oh, yeah. Nah, they don't want to cover that because, you know, China is like their friend. So that's not going to be a thing they want to cover. And if they do cover it and it's a real thing going on, there could be some consequences from China.
Yeah. I was just curious about that because I've seen little pieces myself, you know. I just was wondering. That's all. And have you heard this new song called Bitler?
It's called
Loza?
No, I've not heard that.
You should check it out, man.
Oh, definitely.
It's pretty. It's funny. He's the same guy that did Let's Go Brandon.
Yeah, I'm familiar with Loza. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, he's got a Bitler out and it's blown up. So, well, that was the reason I was calling about this Xi Jinping thing. I just trying to find out more. That's all.
Right. Definitely. I keep an eye on it for sure to see if there's anything that, you know, comes about, any new information. I'll keep an eye on it.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks a lot for taking my call, and you have a good night, sir.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate you.
Bye.
Yeah, this thing with China and the coup, it's hard for me to really believe, but we'll see if it's something there. Who am I speaking to? 937 on the line.
Oh, yes.
All righty. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All righty. What's going on?
Oh, okay. I just talking a little bit culture. Sorry, earlier, and I just thought that was a good thing you touched on. If my phone cuts out, I'm sorry. I live by Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, and we got planes flying across here, and it cuts my phone out. Anyway, I really want to know what you think about Biden and his I don't know. He doesn't know what he's doing. I think we are being led by a fool that is a puppet of other people, and I don't know how to explain it, but I think it's a disgrace to the country, and he makes a fool out of this country.
Now, you're definitely right. He is a fool, and he's a puppet. I mean, and I saw that from the very beginning. When he was running, I saw that because if we remember, during the pandemic, he was running, he was in the basement, never left the house, really. So I knew that he wasn't able to campaign. So if you can't campaign, how are you going to become the president? How are you going to run the country from day to day? He goes out there and says a few things, go off script sometimes, and then the White House corrects him, but he's not actually leading. He's just the figurehead, and the staffers and the people in Congress, they actually run the country. That's what's going on right now. And it's pretty embarrassing because when you speak to other nations, they know that the person in charge is not in charge. They could pretty much speak past him and speak to the handlers and not even deal with them. It's really embarrassing for the entire country.
Yeah, I just feel like when Trump was in charge, that we had not a really control of the planet. I don't want to say that, but we had some oomph behind us. You know what I mean? There's these countries they don't want to mess with us. You know what I mean? We are a powerful country, and we need to keep it that way. And we had a lot of good things going on. Black unemployment, Latino unemployment, everything was great. And then Biden comes in, and now here we are.
Yeah, it's definitely a mess because I think what Trump was doing was actually positive, and it would help the American people. But what's going on now is you got political aspirations and global aspirations that are being met that are not going to be for our best interests as American people. That's kind of what's going on now. So Trump was more focused on Americans, and I think what's happening now, they're focused on the world. They give money to Ukraine and other things that don't really help us as Americans. That's kind of what I see.
Okay, exactly. Yes. I just think America first. We need to look after ourselves. We don't have to look after the rest of the world. We are not a police agency that should look after global entities. We just need to look after ourselves. America first. I love your show. I watch you every chance I get, and just have a wonderful night. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate you.
All right.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Great call. 860, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Fucking dumbass teammates.
Wait, whoa, wait, whoa. Can't, let's not. Whoa. Let's not. And I know who that was too. I don't think he meant to do that, but I was trying to calm him down. Maybe that football team won't doing the right thing. It's like, sir, you're on the call. Let's not do that. I was trying to get him to relax and calm down, but it just wasn't really going. So yeah, RIP to not the headphone users, but RIP to anybody that got little kids, running around and they're hearing 8,000 cuss words in 5 seconds. 619, you don't lie. Who am I speaking to? Okay. Let's keep on going here. 908, you don't lie. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, Anthony. It's Debbie from New Jersey.
All righty, what's going on?
Nothing much. How is it? Happy belated birthday.
Oh, thank you for that.
Big 5-0 now, huh?
No, 38.
Oh, what was I thinking? What did I think? Okay. Well, you look good, Broham. You look good.
Thank you.
You got it going on. Okay. Hi, everybody. Hi, all viewers. Okay, so I just want to tell everybody hi. Look, there must be a good batch going around tonight. Everybody on your caller sound like Ozzy Osbourne. What's going on, Anthony? What's going on? Oh, my God. But listen, this is what I want to tell everybody. First of all, stop looking at these stupid racism videos on on TikTok and YouTube. Stop giving them energy, because a lot of these people are paid to do it. I bet you any amount of money, that girl and that man in that bar, they're probably having relations before she hit that videotape. Look, I know it. There's a lot less racism out here than people, they want you to think it's all over. They want you to think it's hatred all over. That's bull. I was the only black girl in my class until I got to 10th grade. I was in a predominantly Italian and Irish town growing up. I was hanging out. I was in the cowboy bars with my cowboy hat, listening to Charlie Daniels. The Devil Went Down to Mississippi, all that, drinking Jack Daniels, everything. It's all about how you portray yourself when you walk in a place. Your energy. You give it negative energy, you're going to get it back. So I you know what? I don't want to hear it. And I've been down to Savannah. I've been different places. Never had a problem. But I did have a problem with the black girls that I was raised in my town. That's who showed me racism, because they didn't like the way I act. I didn't act too much like them. So I don't believe the hype. It's not out here. And I don't see nobody for their color. So stop putting your energy into that racism stuff, because it's not out there, because that's what they want you to do. They want to keep everybody separated. And I'm telling you right now, all these crazy people you've seen on YouTube and stuff with these hatchets and stuff, they might be getting paid too, because guess what they're doing? They're grooming you for when the immigrants come on in and start their mess right before November. Didn't they just kick them out of Martha's Vineyard?
Yes.
Did they? Yeah. Why? Why is that? I wonder why. Yeah. Okay. Get ready, y'all. Buckle up, because it's going to happen. That's all. This is all grooming, all distractions. So you can go look here, look there, but that's what it is. That's all it is. And then also, I want to let you know, Robert Kennedy Jr. is kicking butt and taking names. You guys got to go on the Children's Health Defense Fund. I don't know if you knew about it. He won the case against the CDC with vaccines. For years, the CDC was saying that vaccines don't cause autism. Guess what? He won it. Vaccines do cause autism. They took it off their website. Anybody's kid got autism, go for it. I went in on Twitter to Autism Speaks, everything, and shared that. Nobody responded because there's no money in the cure.
That's right.
Robert Kennedy Jr. is kicking butt and taking names. And one more thing, I want to tell everybody, I love you. We got this. Don't panic. But just start doing things in your own community, because I'm getting tired of these politicians on Twitter saying, oh, did you see this? And this is not right. And this, okay, it's not right. But you have a platform. So if it's not right, let's fix it. Tell us what we need to do. I'm getting sick of these people. Like that man that you just said that posted that little girl with the aerial. He has a blue check mark on his Twitter. So you posted that little girl to show us. Now what? Why didn't you do something, sir? Why don't we all just boycott Disney? Why don't we all just take all this Hollywood down and start our own stuff? Because they're making money off of us. We shut it down. They're broke. Let's start taking back what we've been giving them and what they're doing to our children. I'm sick of them. And one more thing, Anthony, guess what I found out?
What's that?
Did you know the slavery emancipation was for the southern states that were fighting. Okay, we know that. Juneteenth was about Texas. It wasn't about nobody else. I don't know why we got a holiday. And the only reason why we know about it is because the people from Texas were migrating up in north and telling everybody about it. Okay. Did you know that if your state does not do a ratification to the emancipation, then you're still under slavery? They just hide it. Did you know Mississippi was just freed from slavery in 1995? 1995, they just did a ratification. I live in New Jersey. New Jersey never did a ratification. They hide it under the prison law. That's why the prisoners get forced labor. I'm telling you, this whole system is screwed up. So all these politicians were talking reparations, which I had no idea what they were doing, because I said, hey, no, I'm getting paid for being a slave. If that's the case, you're going to pay Italians, you're going to pay Irish, you're going to pay everybody, because everybody was a slave. So if they were down there pushing reparations to those people in Mississippi, vote for me. They knew those people weren't free from slavery. Everybody knew. But the people in Mississippi, they better wake up, because they can take over that whole state. I am sick of these people. I just want to say hi to everybody. I'm sick of these lies. I'm sick of all this. People on, now these doctors are on Twitter talking about, oh, is anybody having any adverse reactions from the shot? Where were you 2 years ago? Well, you weren't worried about that? And if we are, what you going to do about it? It's too late now, right? I'm sick of them. I love you all. Anthony, you're the best. You're so handsome. Look, I'm a cougar, okay? You know, my husband passed away, but look, I'm not dead, okay? I like to read the menu, but I don't taste the food. Remember that.
All right.
Okay, good night, everybody. I love
All righty. Shout out to the call. You guys are hilarious. All right, let's go. 213, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Anthony, this is Brian.
All righty, what's going on?
Want to wish you a happy late birthday. And big shout out to Ivan for always giving hardball questions.
Right on. Okay.
All right. Continue with the show. Excellent show tonight, my friend.
Thank you. Appreciate it. They call us. You guys, I mean, you guys are hilarious. Always, though. Let's go to some more here. Let's go 201. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Peace, ABL, Foster the Prankster. How you doing tonight, man?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Oh, not much, man. I hope you had a blessed and relaxed born day this past week. You know, happy birthday. Shout out to you.
Thank you.
So I just wanted to I want to chime in on a couple things real quick. So the DeSantis thing, you know, obviously it's a political stunt. We all know that the migrants with the border, you know, sending them to Martha's Vineyard and all that. But I found it funny, man, with they talking about they trying to charge DeSantis with human trafficking, right? Did I hear that correctly?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's cool, right? But where are them flight logs from the Epstein case, and where's Ghislaine Maxwell been recently, right? Oh, that's kind of weird. And then they also announced that the FBI is not treating child sex abuse investigations as a priority anymore, right?
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Yes, sir. So yeah, I just think it's funny that they want to pull that, you know, fighting human trafficking when it's a political stunt. But, you know, when you got all these kids that have been exploited over these years and we have proof of that, you know, we don't know nothing about Ghislaine Maxwell. We don't know nothing about the flight logs, and the FBI is like, oh, we hands off on, you know, child sex abuse. So that's cool. But something else I wanted to talk about, man, is I know you were talking about Kanye last week, and you know, the caller called in tonight talking about Lizzo and how, you know, if you talk to her one-on-one, she's a great person and stuff like that. You know, this is going to be controversial because America is, you know, we worship celebrities as royalty, right? But we don't know these people. Like, it's like you said, man, like these people are people whose real names you don't even know half the time. And the people they deal with, their handlers are not always on the up and up. So, like, for example, I love the music by the brand known as Kanye West, but I don't know Kanye as a person. And what I do know about him is questionable at best. Like, why did his mom, Donda Williams, born in Oklahoma, who is a career academic, study Russian and took Kanye to live in China for a year while she was there on a Fulbright scholarship, which is a scholarship that's openly funded by the CIA? So I said, and I asked myself, is that normal? And what are the odds that that person's child also just happens to grow up and become one of the biggest music icons in the history of pop music? Another thread of the entertainment industrial complex, as I call it. Look into look into the Emmanuel cartel, I call it. Look at Ari Emanuel, who is the quote unquote biggest agent in Hollywood. He's the basis for the character Ari on the HBO show Entourage. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but
yeah.
So Ari Emanuel was the head of William Morris, or WME Talent Agency, who is the brother of Rahm Emanuel, who was the former mayor of Chicago, as you know, and I think he was Obama's chief of staff as well. And they're also the brothers, both of them are the brothers of Ezekiel Emanuel, who is a quote-unquote bioethicist who works for John Podesta at the Center for American Progress and was the former COVID czar to the Biden administration. So this is a very powerful family you're talking about. And the father, Benjamin Emanuel, is a former member of an Israeli militant group known as Irgun, which ironically also the CEO of Pfizer, Albert Bourla, his father also was a part of. So these people, a lot of these people are field operatives and intelligence assets. And Hollywood is not much more than a psychological operation that's been running on the American public and the world for the past 100 years. And up until now, it's been pretty successful. They finally starting to show the cracks because people are seeing that it don't add up with reality, a lot of the stuff that they're saying. And so you have to ask yourself, what are these people doing behind the curtain? Who do they really work for? You always have to question the social engineering angles of who's put in front of you and what they saying and why they saying it. So that's all I'm gonna give y'all for tonight, man. But as always, love the show, bro. I appreciate you and have a good night.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate it. Very informative call. Very, very informative. I didn't even put two and two together about Rahm Emanuel and Ari. I didn't even think about them being related. That was good. So shout out to him. Always a very good and informative call. Let's go. A60, line. What's speaking to?
Hey, ABL, it's F&A Ranger Xbox. How you doing, brother?
It's all good, man. Can't complain.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, my little YouTube podcaster. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Thought I'd get that in real quick. What's the difference between California and the Titanic?
That's a good question. I don't know.
The Titanic had her lights on when she went underwater.
Good one. Good one.
Oh, okay. Now, a couple of days ago, I don't remember the source. I'll have to track it down. But a couple of days ago, there's a woman that has high-level connections, a journalist, investigative reporter. She's got high-level connections inside the United Nations. The World Economic Forum is planning on 100 million Central and South American people to come into America to take over our country by vote.
Wow.
Period. That's their plan. That is their plan. And we have to stop it. I mean, if your state allows drop boxes, then we need to have drop box tailgate parties. Period. Cell phones and police calls. Because, there are laws as to how many votes you're allowed to carry to a drop box. So these people, they mean by any means necessary. When you hear a Democrat talk about winning an election, they always say any means necessary. I know because I'm living in Connecticut. I'm from Florida. I wish I was back in Florida, but I'm stuck and I'm surrounded. I'm behind enemy lines and I hate it up here. These people drive around with a mask on in their car.
Right.
And you know the number one rule about a mask. If your mask does not work inside the gas chamber, it don't work outside the gas chamber. Period. I learned that in the Army for a fact. And if you think your mask is protecting you, put it on, go to a military base and ask to go inside the gas chamber and see how well your mask is protecting you. Good luck with that. Geez. God, there's just so much going on. But that was the one thing I wanted to get out. And about where the drug cartels are getting their weapons from, America gives Mexico a few $1 million, $100 million worth of military aid every year. And they don't pay their soldiers a whole lot of money. So the officers and the sergeants that are in control of the arms rooms, they just sell them to the drug cartels. That's where they get. How do you think they get M203 grenade launchers? Look, do a Google search on M203. You'll see it's an M16A1 assault rifle or M4 nowadays, I guess, with a 40 millimeter grenade launcher. During Fast and Furious, they were showing pictures of military-grade weapons with M203 grenade launchers, and M60 machine guns. And I'm like, sorry,
you good?
Asthma attack. It's asthma.
Okay.
You're just not going to buy those at Bubba Ray's gun shop in Oklahoma City. Not over the counter.
Right on.
But anyway, I love your show. I'm having an asthma attack. God bless. Let's get our country back, folks.
Right on,
There's
man.
a lot of dirty dealing going on. Take care.
Take care of yourself, man. Be good. Well, hopefully my man is good. You know, hopefully he's all right. But good call. Good call. Man, the calls tonight, you guys, it's a lot going on. Hopefully my man is okay. 773, you don't mind who I'm speaking to.
ABL, it's your retired Chicago police officer friend.
All righty, man. What's going on?
Yeah, you know, ABL, I watched all your videos this week. Very interesting. But the one that I really wanted to talk about, and the most important, was Biden on 60 Minutes.
Yeah.
If you watched them, you know, he was like, wait a minute, it's only gone up an inch and, you know, it didn't spike and this and that. Well, let's look at some of the statistics between Trump and Biden. I have them up here. During Trump's administration, the NASDAQ was up 44.17%. Now with Biden, it's negative 17.65%. The Dow with Trump was up 35.53%. With Biden, it's down 4.33%. And the S&P Poor's under Trump was up 29.42%. It's now down 2.78%. That's not only the money that you might have invested in the stock market, it's the money that you have invested in your 401k, your pension, and everything else. Let me continue real quick, ABL. The interest rates under Trump in 2020 was at 2.67%. It's now, currently, today, at 6.29%. I personally get calls if I want to sell my house. Why? People want to buy before the interest rates really go through the roof. People are so anxious that real estate agents are actually calling people's homes. Do you want to sell your house? I'll get you a good deal, because there's so many buyers out there that are in the position to buy a house and think we better do it now before interest rates go through the roof. And one other stat, the inflation rate in 2020 under Trump was at 1.4. Now the interest rate with Biden is at 14.9. So Biden, all he did was switch the decimal point in the wrong direction. These are the things that the Republicans should be talking about. Because I think I told you last week, Trump is a New Yorker. He's very brash, and people don't like him, like his personality, because he's brash. But the thing is, you know, talk about the statistics. The country was better off with the Republicans and Biden. Republicans and Trump. I mean, with Biden, you know, certain things never swing back the other way. For instance, we're never going to get back all those arms that Biden left over in Afghanistan. The Taliban is not going to give those helicopters back to us, or those Humvees back to us, or all those arms back to us. So certain things happen that you can't fix. And it will be hard to fix this economy and the United States, no matter who's in office, what Republican is in office. I'm hoping Biden runs again, because if Biden runs again, there's enough Democrats that think he's incompetent that will never vote for a Republican, or will never vote for a Trump, but they'll vote for somebody other than Biden. Some will vote for Biden. They'll split the vote, and the Republicans can take over again and try to fix this economy. I'm not sure what you think about that, but I mean, let's run on the stats, because this economy is down in the dumps. I've lost a lot of money. I have money invested. I have a pension. You know, I've lost thousands and thousands of dollars in the money that I have invested in the stock market. I'm not happy about it. I'm sure a lot of people aren't happy about it. And even those of you that don't have your money invested in the stock market, like I said, you know, there's your 401k and your pension and everything else. I mean, I don't know what's happening here, and I'm not sure how to fix it. I'm hoping Trump runs again, but even if he doesn't, I really want Biden to run again because he's incompetent. I don't think he will. I think he's too old, and he'll be talked out of it like he can be talked in and out of everything else. Anyway, ABL, I'll let you discuss that, and have a good night. Always good to participate.
Thank you for the call. I appreciate you.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's a good point about, you know, talking about the stats. That's what we should talk about. But see, there's another element here. The issue is that the American people have kind of been brainwashed into believing, not all American people, but a lot of us have been brainwashed into believing that Trump's some kind of evil, maniacal figure. And it doesn't matter what you say, if it's true or false. All that matters is Trump's bad. That's why I was saying that DeSantis should run, because the media can't do that to him. Because with Trump, he had an entertainment career before he became a politician, but that's not the same thing for DeSantis. DeSantis is squeaky clean, so you're not going to find anything on him. So they can't do the same thing they did to Trump and to DeSantis. It won't be the same way. But if you want to run Trump, trying to just run on the stats won't work. You have to. It's going to be an issue with his character, because the media have already done that job to brainwash people into believing it. And you ask these people what's wrong with him, they won't really have much of an answer. They'll just say, well, I think he's racist and all that. 304, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is Jeff from West Virginia. How you doing, ABL?
It's all good, man. Can't complain.
Hey, when do you think I can expect my check from Don Lemon?
The check for what?
For my reparations from Don Lemon. I'm white.
Hey, I said, don't hold your breath on that one.
Hey, I'll tell you what, if I do get it, we'll get you some beard extensions.
There you go.
Hey, these clips of The View, man, boy, that show's getting irrelevant. There's like nothing to talk about for them. I'll tell you what I think's going to happen to that show. I think when Liz Cheney gets out of Congress, they're going to hire her and move that show over to the Animal Planet. Man, I was going to say, this video you showed there of that lady freaking out in line and the guy just standing there recording it, let me give everybody a piece of advice. You need to walk away from that situation. Yeah, it's not fair she cut in line. Yeah, it's not fair she's making a big scene. But, you know, here in West Virginia, ABL can testify, fair is a term that describes a place where we judge hogs.
Where is that? I don't know if I heard this one before.
Oh, you've never heard that term. Here in West Virginia, man, like I used to tell my parents, or my grandpa, oh, that's not fair. They would say, fair is where hogs are judged. Yeah, it might not have been fair that she pushed it. It might not have been fair she pushed in front of you in line and all this, but you really need to get yourself out of that situation. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, so remember, fair is a place where hogs are judged, and you go to get you a funnel cake and you get a little powdered sugar in your beard. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Well, look, man, I kind of hate to bring the show down because it's been pretty good, but man, this Ukraine thing is really getting bad, everybody, and I just think you need to be paying a little bit more attention to it, because I don't think clowns like Norm Macdonald on the evening news are really telling you the gravity of what's going on. When Vladimir Putin and Russia vote for the Donbass and these other regions, when they let those people vote and decide that that's part of Russia, they're going to defend that like it's part of Russia. It's dangerous. You know, you have people like AOC in Congress, they're voting to support this war that looks like it could go nuclear. At the same time, they're pushing for a Green New Deal. You want to know what's going to be worse for the atmosphere than CO2? Nuclear fallout.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
And that's how we know this Green New Deal thing is a grift. And so there's an article in the Washington Post, and it's Chris Murphy's warning: a GOP House would defund the Ukraine struggle. I am not sure that that's true, but boy, more reason to vote for Republicans because this needs to stop. You know, your last caller, he's like, I can't put my finger on, you know, Joe Biden and all this. I can put my finger on it. This is an idiot with nuclear weapons that will not back off.
Right.
And so, like I say, I kind of hate to bring it down on a low note, but I just thought everybody might want to pay a little bit more attention to this. And if where you're at, you're voting in the midterms for somebody going to Washington, you might want to ask them if they plan to defund this and try to pressure Ukraine into some kind of a peace deal because they're shelling a nuclear power plant. No matter if you think it's the Ukraine or Russian shelling the nuclear power plant, no matter who you think's writing this, nuclear fallout is going to be a lot worse than some carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, ladies and gentlemen. I promise you that. So if you can, vote against this. It would be in your best interest, I promise you.
Right on. Absolutely.
All right, man. Well, I'll get off here tonight. Sorry I didn't have as many jokes, but I really want people to try to pay attention to that. And y'all have a good evening, and we'll hear some more calls here.
Thank you for the call, man. I appreciate you.
Goodbye.
Yeah, that's a good point, though, about Ukraine, because they want to make that part of Ukraine be Russia. So it's like, okay, now if you are over here with your planes in our airspace and or you want to try to attack us, that's a problem. And you know what's funny about that? Well, not funny, but interesting, I should say. They're talking about on the news that there's going to be a referendum, and they call it a sham referendum. So you could call that a sham right away. Just as soon as they announce it, say, oh, it's a sham. It's not going to be real. They're not really going to be voting. But if we question our elections at all, then somehow we need to get locked up. We got freedom of speech, right? You got freedom of speech. And freedom of speech expressly says you can't get locked up for your opinions, what you believe. If I say the election was stolen, then there's penalties against me. That is a violation of my free speech. I have the right to say that. I have the right to feel how I want to feel. But you can't say that. But they can say that that's a sham election right away, instantly, as soon as it's announced. Before it happens, before anything goes on, before any investigation, instantly, right away, sham. Funny how that works. It's again, double standards. That's what the left thrives on. 352, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, yeah, this is Tammy.
All right, turn the stream down in the background for me, please.
I got you.
All right, what's going on?
Okay, well, I identify as she, her. Okay.
Okay, all right.
And I'm in my living room, shirtless, jockstrap.
Okay, wait. Okay, where are we going? All right, that wasn't a very good troll. They hung up. That's not a very good troll. I mean, that's shirtless jockstrap. I need a little bit more. I mean, come on. So we don't even line we're speaking to.
This is Hervey Duran. I'm from Texas, San Antonio.
All righty, what's going on?
Well, I just wanted to call because I'm a little concerned about our country, and I really love your show, guy. And happy birthday, by the way.
Oh, thank you for that. Hold on, before we continue, turn the stream down in the background for me, please.
I apologize.
It's all good.
All right, bud. It's weird hearing your voice on the phone.
Right.
I usually hear it on TV. Anyway, I'm just kind of concerned that nobody's paying attention that Biden has lowered our ammo to practically zero. He left so much in Afghanistan. Now he's giving it all to Ukraine. The Chinese are buying up farmland near our bases, especially critical bases. I just don't understand why a lot of people aren't seeing what's going on here. We're going to be in a lot of serious trouble. They're trying to take all our weapons away. They're trying any way possible, especially now since the Supreme Court has said that they're unconstitutional laws, which they are now trying to draft into something different, like that should make a difference for some reason. but they're leaving us totally defenseless. If you hadn't noticed, our oil reserve, what we use for war, is almost depleted. All our ammo, tanks, planes are being depleted. Who's to say that the Ukrainians ain't giving Russians all our technology? I mean, they've gotten most of it, them in China, from Afghanistan. And now the UN is giving them all their technology and some weapons. I mean, who's to say that Russia Gate shouldn't be Biden Gate? I mean, this guy is leaving our country defenseless. Not only that, I live here in San Antonio, Texas. I got people that look like they just came across the border, carrying big backpacks, going through my street. I live near Highway 90, going west towards San Antonio. Towards Del Rio. So, yeah, we see a lot of people that don't look like they belong here. A lot of people that don't look like they're Mexican, for one, either. I mean, I've seen Chinese-looking people, Asian, if you want to say. I've seen Middle Eastern, and they're all walking north. They're all going north. I'm really concerned that this is a much bigger plan than people are actually seeing. Because when Biden was with Obama, there was a guy in the middle of the desert that was stealing kids and training them and brainwashing them to do school shooting. We didn't have too many during the Trump era, but as soon as Biden's back in, they start flying all these kids from out here and taking them up north in the middle of the night. Have you ever heard of MK Ultra?
Yes.
Well, who's to say they're not making a new army?
Well, I guess that's possible.
I think we're in a lot deeper than most people realize. They've already depleted the military. They can't even get enough people into the military. I mean, we do have a lot of good people out here that are very loyal. I mean, I'm in Texas, we're very loyal to this country and to the Constitution. We're real big on that. And for some reason, my son went to Detroit, and they saw that he had Texas plates, and they're flipping them off. They're throwing things at his truck, saying, "We don't want you bastards here." Excuse the expression, I apologize. And, they're very anti-Texan. I never grew up in my life to where people are so much against their own country. You don't find it too much down here. In Austin, oh, man, that's a whole other story.
Yeah.
That's like California there now.
Right.
It's beginning to get pretty bad, even in Houston. I mean, there's so much shooting going on. And every time there's a shooting, you have to research it to find out that most of the time they don't even belong in this country.
Yeah.
A lot of these MS-13 people are coming back, and they're coming back with a revenge on the people that got them kicked out of this country. And nobody's even paying attention to that.
Right.
It's getting very ugly, and being down here next to the border, it's getting worse. So, yeah, I got to admit, a lot of us down here were laughing at Martha's Vineyard on the hypocrisy, and that's coming straight from a Texan down here in the South. How they're like, oh, we got to send them with a military escort out of here, and we got to get them off our island. And now they're making us a border town kind of crud that they were talking about. And it's like, now you know what we're going through, just to give them an idea. But it's getting bad down here, and nobody seems to care. When 9/11 happened, we sent a lot of our sons and daughters to lands that nobody wanted to go to ever, to revenge what they did to us on 9/11 up in New York, a very far state from where we're at. And at the time, we need them because our state's being invaded.
Right on.
Where are they? Where the hell are they?
That's a very good
Why,
question, man.
why aren't they saying, hey, look, we're going to donate money to help you build a wall? Our poor governor is sticking cars and these big containers at the wall. You know, there's only so much you can put. We have a very big border.
Right, I got you.
And
I'm going to cut you off. Caller, I'm going to cut you off, but I got a few more calls on the line I want to get to. So thank you for your call, man. Great call. I appreciate you.
Hey, Tony, thank you. I really enjoy your show, sir. And happy birthday once again.
Thank you,
I'm
man.
sorry I just went on.
It's all good, man. Thank you for the call.
Okay, take care, buddy.
All right, let's go to 602. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, turn the stream down in the background for me, please.
Hi, Anthony.
Okay, turn your stream down. Turn your stream down in the background for me, please.
Okay, Doc.
All right, can you hear me?
Happy late birthday.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
First off. Okay, what do you think now? Are we going to be in a civil war?
I don't think so.
What do you think is going to happen?
We're going to continue on like we have been continuing on. There's going to be a recession, and we're going to get different people in office, and hopefully they can turn it around. But I don't think it's going to be a civil war. I don't think that's going to be our future.
What about a world war?
I don't think so, because in a world war, the people that might want to start it wouldn't benefit. So I think in the world war, you would have countries like Russia, China, etc. If that happens, you're talking about nuclear fallout worldwide. I don't think they would benefit from that. It wouldn't make any sense. So, for example, when Russia takes more of Ukraine and then we decide to go attack Ukraine, because it wouldn't make any sense, because that'd be a direct attack against Russia. If we attack Russia, China gets involved, and all we do is just hurt ourselves. So that would not be a smart decision to make for the countries that could engage in a world war to engage in it. It wouldn't make sense.
That makes sense. But my biggest thing is that I listen to so much stuff on YouTube because I won't listen to the real news. I mean, fake news. But I believe it was called Shades of Love, and it's supposed to be a Christian channel. And it was supposed to be where Trump was going around. And I remember that Trump supposedly went to Switzerland shortly after he got out of office. And another thing I remember is that he never conceded. And he keeps killing everybody at the rallies he has. It's going to get better real soon. Now, isn't there something in the Constitution or something that says the most a president can do is 10 years?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know? Well, I heard that on another channel. Anyway, on this Shades of Love thing is that they're saying that a lot of these people are trying to, help us out and stuff like that. And you don't know what to believe anymore because there's so many different things. So kind of like I stick with you and Officer Tatum and ABL and, Ruben Report and different people like that, because I don't know who else to trust. But these guys are saying like, Putin, who, did the wars, like he's supposed to be a white hat trying to help us get all of the Nazis out of Ukraine, and the fact that that's where all of our money's going is to Ukraine, but not necessarily to Ukraine, the different bank accounts, and that's how the Democrats are getting so rich as being, members of our Congress. And everybody always says, even President Trump, when he does his rallies, that we, the people, are the bosses. How come we can't do anything?
You can vote, and you can become. You can vote, and you can run, and you can make changes in your own community. People want to focus on.
Vote, but then they cheat.
Well, I mean, the thing is, you could change those laws on a local level. You're not dealing with a national election. So if there's any problems with the voting where you live, you can petition your particular government to change it, like they did in Georgia and other states.
Well, I'm in Arizona, so, so far so good. I hope we get Carrie Lake, but now they got Border Patrol that's saying that the other one's supposed to be so much better, and it's like, the way it goes is I'm not going to cuss or anything, but you know how this saying goes, money talks, and you know what walks. And I don't know, people are just selling themselves out. I don't know, Anthony. It's just really scary now. I'm a Christian, so I believe in God. I know, that he'll be here for me when it's my time. But it's like, is it going to be my grandkids' time? Is it going to be my great-grandkids' time? I don't want them to have to go through socialism. That's the only thing.
I understand.
That's the only thing.
I understand.
Anthony, when you guys going to have a baby? You been married long enough?
Yeah, I mean, that's a different story, but thank you for your call. I appreciate you. Thank you for your call.
Take care. Okay, bye-bye.
I know. All right, shout out to the callers asking them personal questions. It's like, hey, when the baby coming? Like, I was talking to my own mama or something, you know what I mean? So, yeah. Thank you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internet. So if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. 323 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
How you doing, man? It's Miles from LA, bro. How you doing?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Good, man. I just wanted to talk about the current state of affairs in Los Angeles, bro. I know it's not even on topic of what you're talking about today. I just wanted to talk about it.
That's fine. Go ahead.
So I just want to talk about the PNB Rock situation. These people coming to LA in general just thinking that it is safe to just go around and just have fun. Like, out here right now, bro, if you have jewelry on, a bag that has designer on it, or anything of worth money, they want to rob people. So I'm just confused on why certain people come to certain big cities thinking it's safe for them and just walk around like it's okay. And then when people want to rob you, they want to have an ego. And then everybody on social media or everybody in the world is like, oh, they shouldn't kill the dude. They shouldn't kill him. Oh, he was just trying to be a different person. He was trying to change his ways. But, people are just out here trying to rob people. They want to rob you. And if you don't give it up to them, they're going to kill you. And then people get upset that, oh, my favorite rapper got killed. Or, oh, my favorite friend got killed. But your favorite friend was out in a big city with a bunch of wolves, hungry, because, EDD and PPP is gone now. So people don't got money no more. So they're killing people for it.
Yeah, and, I saw that, too. Right when the whole PNB Rock thing happened, I'm like, okay, where was he at? They said he was right there. Like, I don't know if it was a blood neighborhood. I don't know LA politics like that, but I know
it's a whole, that neighborhood is Crip and Hoover. So it's just a bunch of gangs in that neighborhood right there.
Right. So it's like, I know a little bit. I'm not a street person, but I know a little bit about the streets. I know not to go into a hood with a bunch of jewelry on because you are a target automatically, and you're not even from there. They don't know you. That's too easy. If they know you, they might give you a pass, maybe. But some of them guys don't care. You could be their own grandmama. They rob you. They don't care. But if you're a tourist, basically, a bunch of jewelry on, that's easy. That's an easy lick right there. You sitting in one spot for a long time. They were trying to blame the girlfriend, but it's like, hey, they can see you. You're right here in the middle of the hood. You're here for an hour. Anybody could just make a phone call and say, hey, he's right here. Go get him. So that right there,
yeah,
it was
to that spot in a 2022 Maybach.
I mean, come on, you so hot like doing that. You're making it like you're asking for it at that point, And I don't want to say that to be insensitive to the man because he's passed away, but for real, you're asking for it. You pulling up in the hood, a 2022 Maybach, jewelry on, your food at that point.
Exactly, and it's like, how do we get to the point where we can change the thinking in our community's minds to like get to the point where they don't have this big ego where they have to go and stunt? Like, social media has just ruined, especially the black community's heads, into thinking like, oh, we can just stunt anywhere. Like, everybody, we got to stunt. We got to show everything we're doing. We got to post that. We got to go outside in this. And if we don't go outside like that, we're broke. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how do we get to a point where we can just change people's mindsets
I mean, I can't really call it because the thing is, at a certain point, you should just know that because I come from these kind of bad neighborhoods or whatever, and I know from being in that environment what not to do. You know what to do, what not to do, but people just want to act like they're untouchable. They're not thinking clearly. I think if you see more things like this happen, then you realize, wait a minute, that might not be a good idea. You got to see it happen to somebody that you know, a friend or a loved one. But it shouldn't have to be that way. You should just understand it from observation. But some people, they're not going to learn it until it happens to somebody that they know or they love or they are recognized. Like with the whole P&B rock thing, people are just now learning, oh, you can't do that. You can't go to a Crip or Hoover neighborhood in L.A. as a tourist. Nobody knows you. All the jury on. They're not thinking that way. So as more of it happens, maybe they'll learn. I don't know. If that doesn't do it, I don't know what will.
Yeah, people just got to look. I don't know. People just have to look up on Google Maps and see where they're going. Because if I looked up on Google Maps that Roscoe's, I'm not going there. I just can't go there.
Right.
That parking lot, that whole little setup is just a death trap.
Yes.
Especially sitting down and eating for a waffle and some chickens. You have a girlfriend that can go home and make that for you.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah. I just wanted to get on here and just say that, man. I appreciate your platform. I appreciate what you do for the people, man. I really appreciate you. You're a great person, man.
Thank you for the call, man. I appreciate you. Yeah, that was a really good call from out there, LA. I mean, at a certain point, we got to just, we have to just use our brains more as people. I know, like I said, I'm not a street person. I'm not out here thugging and drugging, carrying on, but I come from that environment. So I understand a little bit about what to do. I know just in general, not to walk around with certain items on me. You in a bad neighborhood project or whatever. It's like, I've said it before. I've compared it to, people talking about, women when they get assaulted and they say, oh, you can't blame the person. Well, I'm not going to blame someone for getting assaulted, but at the same time, there are things you can do to prevent it. I'm not saying it's going to be 100% effective because you still may have something happen to you. But if you are a single woman walking by yourself in a bad neighborhood, middle of the night, maybe you should not be doing that, first of all, by yourself in a bad neighborhood. Second of all, if you have no clothes on, you're asking for something to happen to you. Not saying that you deserve it, not saying that the person has no fault that attacked the person. I'm just saying that's what it is. It'd be the same thing if I'm in the middle of a dangerous hood, like if you know about Virginia, Topwater Park, right? I'm out TWP, and that it's 2:00 in the morning by myself. I got every piece of jewelry on. I'm shining. I'm glistening. I got a chain that has a spinning medallion on it, and the diamonds are sparkling in the streetlights. I'm going to get robbed, or I might die behind that. And also, when you're getting robbed, you don't have a gun on you. You're just getting caught, gun in your face. Give it up. Because I promise you, your jewelry, your pride, your ego is not worth your life because all of that dies when you die. If you die, your ego dies. And they're going to still rob you because that's what happened to P&B Rock in L.A. He didn't want to give it up. He struggles with the person with the gun. The guy kills him and he robs him at the same time. So you still got robbed. But if you just cooperate, you live, usually. But if you want to fight, you die and you still get robbed. So what was the purpose? Anyway, 928, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello, Mr. Logan.
Hello, who am I speaking to?
This is Donnie Lemon. You might know me from the media as Don Lemon, but I actually go by Donnie Lemon to my friends and family. How are you doing today, sir? And I would like to add happy birthday.
Thank you. I appreciate it, and I'm doing well.
Oh, right on, man. Well, anyways, yeah, I got some stuff on Trump and the whole January 6th commission thing. Look, it's all a farce, and I would like to come on your show as Don Lemon, and if you if you have some extra couch space or maybe a futon couch, I can live at your pad because my boyfriend just kicked me out, and I'm kind of in a bad place right now, man. I'm struggling here.
Well, I don't know about my particular house, but I may be able to put something out to the community, see if you can find somewhere to stay, because that's going to be kind of important.
Yeah, they got like a hostel or something nearby I can, live at while I work on your show.
Hey, yeah, it could find something. Yeah.
No, man, sorry, bro. Happy birthday. Hey, love the show. I just wanted to call in. It's Jack from AZ again. I have these skits that I do. I like to call in and stuff. So some of your viewers in the comment section call me Jack Murphy for some reason. I don't know why they do that. But anyways, man, love the show, man. Hope you're having a great weekend. Enjoy your birthday. I can't believe that as a young man, you're in your late 30s and you have so much knowledge, man, and you're just on the level. Like, I know the gray hair and stuff, but, dude, you're rocking it, man. Like, totally. I've been trying to grow a beard myself a little bit. I got Danish blood and stuff, so I'm working on the beard, man. But yeah, totally, man. Love the show. Just wanted to call in, say hi, give a little skit about Don Lemon. I know he's not doing very good and in the public eye recently, and this and that and stuff. But hey, if I can just give a real quick shout out to our American Legions, our DAVs, Disabled American Veterans, our VFWs, Veterans of Foreign Wars. If any of the viewers have family that can join these posts, help out, volunteer, help out our elderly veterans, because they are struggling in these turbulent times. Like just anything. You can go by there, sign up, pay your dues, join. If you can't, you can go there and you can volunteer for veterans, help them out. That's just it's a major thing in today's world, how our elderly people are struggling and stuff like that.
Well, thank you for the call, man. I appreciate you.
All right, sir. Hey, you have a great birthday weekend and take care, and God bless America.
All right, thank you. Appreciate you.
All right, peace.
All right, great call. I got time for one more. Let's go. 708, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
You're talking to someone you talked to earlier.
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
saw some of the comments that were written about me.
I'm sorry. Oh, wait. I'm sorry, but I can't have calls more than one in the show. I'm sorry. All right, so call back next time, all right? All right. I'm sorry. I can't have more than one call on the show. One more call for real. Let's go. Okay, calling the line, speaking to 619. All right, I guess they're telling me like, yo, you got to go to end the show because that should be a wrap. So thank y'all. I'll pause it right there. If you were not able to get through tonight, I'm sorry. It's not my fault. Blame the white man. You want to call in again? Call next time. It's all good. I'll be here again on Wednesday. I should have nothing planned on Wednesday. I'll be here. And Wednesday and Saturday, I'm here, 8 p.m. Eastern time. So right around 11 p.m. Eastern time. So yeah, come through next time. I'll be here. And watch the pre-recorded videos all throughout the week that I put out. I put them out every day. Sunday, I won't put out no videos, but Monday, we're back to putting out videos. So yeah, come through then. I'll be here for sure. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internet. Thank you for being here. If you like what you heard tonight, please give the video, if you're not done so already, give it a thumbs up. Also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do so. This is also a podcast you're listening to, and the podcast will be available for free on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether it be Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, Anchor, etc. Link for that will be in the description. Or to go to favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. All right. And we got super chats on deck, and then I'll wrap it on up, put the bow on the top. Oh, shout out to the mods as well, keeping the trolls out of the chat. I was seeing some of the trolls kind of sprinkled about. Thank y'all for keeping the trolls in check. I appreciate you guys tremendously. I couldn't do it without you. Super chats on deck, and then that'll be a wrap for me until next show. Thank you to A. Kennel, who says, love you, man. Happy birthday. Great show. Thank you for that. Thank you to Miss OMG, who says, happy birthday, ABL. Did you see the story out of Los Angeles where a man has taken residence up on a woman's porch and she can't get help making them leave. Yeah, that's what's going on nowadays. That's the whole Chicago purge bill thing where they say if somebody's like breaking into your shed in your backyard and you call the police, they can't make them leave. So if you got a squatter, you're pretty much out of luck. You got to figure out a way to get them out of there and still be legal. So it's crazy. I was just reading a story just now about Airbnb, which I don't know how you guys do it. Airbnb sucks. I refuse. Give me a hotel, a nice 4-star hotel. If I'm being bougie, maybe I do a 3-star if it's all right. If they got the little waffle iron, I take a 3-star, Jank, right? But anyway, I digress. The point is that I refuse to do Airbnb because, first of all, you're like in somebody's hood half the time. Ain't no security half the time. You're in their house. They got cameras. They got all kind of freak stuff going on. It's a mess. I don't want to deal with it. But if you're a host, it's even worse because you may end up having squatters. Okay. Now I don't know how hotels do it. I don't know how hotels eliminate squatters. But in the Airbnb, I was reading a horror story about how somebody rented their apartment and the owners came back to their apartment after the people who rented their apartment did a chargeback, got a full refund. They went to their apartment and people were still there. And they called the police on the owners, on the host, and had the host removed from the premises while the people that were still in their apartment and they shouldn't have been stayed there for free. I mean, now I did a video on that as well, a whole different video about that same situation of squatters. So my point is that a lot of these places, they support squatters. They give the squatters legal protection, but you as a renter or as an owner, a subleaser or whatever, you pretty much out of luck. You can't do nothing about it. Can't do a thing about it. It's crazy. So yeah, that's happening right now, and I'm not really sure what the solution is. You're going to see that end very badly if that kind of sweeps the nation as far as squatters having all these rights. You're going to see guys mess around and come up missing, right? But anyway, they get to entry required who says, ABL, there's hostility and I hear civil war. Angry and frustrated as I am about the overreach of the government, I'm not willing to pick up arms against my neighbors. What sanity can you provide us with? I don't think we're going to be at that particular point of civil war. The people that really speak out against conservative values in America the most aren't really going to bust a grape in the fruit fight. They're not going to do a thing. I think the biggest problem would be with the military being turned against us. That'd be the biggest problem, but I don't really see that happening. But, you know, stranger things have happened, I suppose. They get to Zenitors Kingsword, who says, happy belated birthday, Anthony. They get to Joe Ryder 84, who says, what do you think about Republicans getting some impeachments, convictions when we win the House and Senate? I'm not necessarily looking forward to that, but if it happens, then that's a great thing. That'd be a bonus for sure. But I wouldn't hold my breath. They get to Steve Travago, who says, love you like a family member, my friend. My biggest fear is to one day say to myself, wonder, whatever happened to ABL? Stick around, the world needs you. Happy birthday. I'll definitely be here. Shout out to the Virgos all day. Yes, I am a Virgo last day. If you're into the astrology stuff, that's me. Thank you to Cali Boy, who says, only reparations I'll accept is if it comes from the Democratic Party. There you go. Right on. Bob K. MIT says, shout out to VFW Post 4809 Norfolk, Virginia. Also, different State Farm. Thank you for your donation. Says ABL. Thank you to Sauce Man for your donation. I appreciate it, boss. Thank you to Texas Sweet Tea, who says, hey, ABL, been a while. Happy birthday to you and your beard. Thank you. Thank you to Charles Turner Jr., who says, ABL, I hear you about Airbnbs. On that note, I'm staying at a Howard Johnson in Chattanooga. It's a nice area here. I can see our Airbnbs might be sketchy. Oh, yeah, shout out to you. You down there? What you down, like downtown or somewhere? Yeah, shout out to the Howard Johnson down there in chat, downtown probably. So, yeah, man. Thank you all for being here. I definitely appreciate you guys. I'll be back live again on Wednesday. And I'm here throughout the week posting pre-recorded videos Monday through Saturday, not Sunday. But that'll be a wrap for me. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.